Hello guys, welcome back to our YouTube channel. In this video we are gonna see, what if Naruto recreated the Uzumaki clan and becomes the Lost Maelstrom? Part 2. If you want more awesome fan fiction like this, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. So without wasting any time, let's get into the video. Is there a problem? Minato asked as he entered the room and hugged his wife. Nothing. In fact, it is the opposite. Something good has happened. What is it, Amato? Kid asked as he also entered the room. The Kazekage has approved of our proposed alliance with him. We are now allies with Tsunagakure. He's also requested for an audience with us. We're going there now. I see. That was fast. Minato commented. Indeed. Kid agreed. We gave them everything that will convince them to ally with us. But yes, I didn't expect their answer this week. The Uzukage said as she made 3 Kage bunshin. I'll leave you 3 here. One of you do the paperwork. One of you go and check on Naruto-chan. One of you will call a council meeting and inform them of the good news. You can trust us on that database. Kushina nodded at the 3 clones. She looked at her husband and her brother and nodded to the both of them. Let's go. The 3 vanished in a yellow flash as Minato did his oration. Back to Tsunagakure. The Kazekage was still in his office and was anxiously pacing the floor. It had been almost 15 minutes since he flared his chakra on the ring. He stopped and went to drink a glass of water and then went back to his pacing. Suddenly there was a familiar flash of yellow. Greetings, Kazekage Dono. The Kazekage stopped in his tracks and now stood facing his 3 newly arrived guests. His eyes widened as his gaze landed on the woman who greeted him. Next he stared at the other person with her and noticed that they looked alike. Lastly, he almost had a heart attack as he gaped at the man with yellow hair, blue eyes, and was wearing a long white coat with flames designed on the bottom of it. He looked like he had seen someone risen from the dead. In which of course he has. Bukashini Uzumaki Minato, the Suna leader, stuttered as he unconsciously took a step backwards. Luckily he fell on his chair as he was still gawking at the 2. Yu the Kazekage was normally the silent type of person. But this was the first time he had been dumbfounded, speechless. His 3 guests were trying their best not to laugh, despite the funny looks the Kazekage was giving them. Thankfully they were able to keep their impassive looks, as it would most likely offend the Suna leader if they laughed at him. The man slowly recovered himself as he took another glass of water to calm his nerves. I can't believe it. He whispered to himself, but enough for his guests to hear. He cleared his throat and politely asked his guests to take a seat. Kazekage Dono, how are you feeling now? Kushina asked as she was a bit concerned with the man. The Yondaime Kazekage cannot die yet. They still have plans for him. It would totally suck if he died because of his heart failing. I think I'm better now, thank you Uzukage Dono. Let's just say I wasn't that prepared enough to see you. Especially the Yondaime Hokage, since everyone knew he died 4 years ago. I've read the files about what has transpired 4 years ago, and to be honest, I had my doubts everything written there was true. We understand Kazekage Dono. It will be really hard for people to believe about our existence. But here we are. I apologize for having doubts on you, my allies. I assure you I will not doubt the power of the Uzumaki ever again. The Yondaime Kazekage said as he bowed. It is alright, Kazekage Dono. We didn't take any offense. The man nodded as he took another glass of water and offered 3 more glasses to his guests. His nerves finally calmed down as he cleared his throat and went to business. I thank you for coming in short notice. As the leader of this village, I formally welcome you to Tsunagakure. I asked for you here since I wanted to meet and greet you personally. Kazekage Dono, I thank you for inviting us here. More importantly, Uzumaki thanks you for agreeing to our proposed alliance. We hope that our villages will become strong in partnership and friendship. Our alliance will definitely help us in a lot of aspects. Also, I would like to introduce you to my elder brother, Kid. He is the head of our storm and was also the leader of the Lost Maelstrom search and rescue mission. Pleased to meet you, acquaintance, Kid-san. The Kazekage said as he bowed to the man. Uzukage Dono, you are welcome here since we are allies now. Tsunagakure also thanks you for the surge of missions we are having. Earlier, before I found about the truth about Uzumaki, I was just finished signing off papers and assigning missions to my shinobi. They were to leave in 3 hours time, but then now I realized missions had to be delayed. When I saw the documents after I signed the contract, I immediately ordered my Anbu to put the village on a lockdown. When I finished trading, I thought of introducing you to the village as soon as new allies, since I already had the village put up on a lockdown and nobody is getting in or out of the village. My shinobi who were out thankfully just made it in time, and all shinobi and civilians of Tsunagakure is inside this village. We have no outsiders or visitors at the moment except the unwanted guests. I'd be glad if you could grant my request, as it will be also easier to explain to the villagers. If not, then it is fine, I'll understand if you wish to keep your village's existence hidden. After all, every village has enemy spies lurking around inside it, blending in with the populace. I'm glad you thought ahead of it. I was actually about to ask you if we could introduce ourselves to the populace of Suna as their new ally. If you were feeling troubled about the spies planted in here, we can take care of it. It will be easier since the village is already on a lockdown. The Kizikage perked up upon hearing this. How do you plan on doing that without alerting them? Simple. We'll execute them all at the same time. The Uzumaki has its own ways dealing with unwanted guests. That is why we were able to stay hidden from the world for 5 years now without any trouble at all. I would like to ask your permission to get rid of all the unwanted guests here. I'm asking for your permission because the process will be very bloody. If it is for the good of my village, of course I will have no problems with it. What do you need? More blood, actually. What we are about to do is a kinjutsu as it requires a lot of blood. The seal we applied on the contract was also a kinjutsu. Which is why I asked for your permission. You're going to have to spill a large amount of blood on the floor. You do not have to worry about suffering blood loss. We have taken precautions for that as we have brought blood pills. We were actually planning on eliminating all spies here when we answered your call. If you were wondering why it had to be your blood, it is because you are the leader of this village. When Yuzushi Agakure dealt with the traitors, my father also did the ritual as he was the Izukage that time. Now, you do not have to worry about your blood spilling and going on all directions. With the jutsu ongoing, it should stay in one place. You'll see and understand once we do it. I see. I do not have any problems with it. I trust highly on your skills. Well, then. Let us get started. The Izukage thanked him for the praise. She then nodded and her two companions went to their positions. The Kizikage was in the middle being surrounded by the three in a triangular formation. Kizikage dono, when you see a triangular seal form, wait for a blood katana to appear, then take it and use it to stab yourself on the heart. When the seal glows blue, use the katana and draw the kanji for barrier on your 4 directions. North, east, south, and west. When you are done, stab the kai bunshin on the heart that will later appear using the katana. Wait for all the blood to dissipate and then finally stab the spot where the blood clone once stood with the katana. That's fucking brutal. The Kizikage chuckled, commenting on the complicated process of the jutsu. He then nodded signaling them he was ready. The 3 people surrounding him nodded and went into a series of hand seals before calling on the name of the jutsu. Uzumaki Secret Blood Seal. Cleansing and protection of the populace. The air in the room became heavy as a circle appeared on each of them and started to connect with each other. Soon there was a yellow glow as the triangle formed. The color slowly changed color until it stopped on blood red. A triangular barrier then appeared by the seal, trapping the 4 people inside. Soon a blood katana appeared in front of the Kizikage. He then took it and stabbed himself on the heart with it. He was surprised when he did not feel any pain. He only felt a pulling sensation from the katana. The katana sucked the blood out from the man and the blood stayed on the tip of the handle. A few minutes later the blood started to take on a form. It took about 10 minutes before the blood clone fully materialized. It looked exactly like the Kizikage. The seal started to change its color once again and slowly turned into blue. He unstabbed himself and began drawing the kanji for barrier on his 4 directions. When he was done, he raised the katana and stabbed the kai bunshin. The kai bunshin screamed and then exploded, splattering all directions with blood. The blood that splattered slowly dissipated into smoke. Soon the area was once again clean. The Kizikage then stabbed the floor using the katana. The seal started to glow brighter and changed into color green. Soon the glowing slowly stopped. The seal vanished as the lines making the triangle unconnected until there were only circles surrounding them. Soon the circles also vanished and they felt the air go back to normal. The process took almost half an hour. The Kizikage felt lightheaded. The Izukage approached the Suna leader and slapped her hands on the man's chest. Fuin. Healing. The Kizikage then felt better thanks to the seal. Keed handed him 3 pills and a glass of water. He gratefully accepted it and took the pills. He felt more dizzy a minute after taking the blood pills. The Izukage dono, please sit down for now. You'll feel very dizzy for a few minutes because of the blood pills regenerating your lost blood. He followed her advice and went for his seat. His 3 guests also took theirs as they waited for him to feel better. After about 10 minutes, he nodded to them signaling them he was alright. Hi. Kushina, Minato, and Keed shouted. Moments later screams of agony were heard throughout the village. All unwanted guests inside Sunagakure felt like their hearts had been stabbed and let out piercing screams as their bodies exploded into blood and gore. The people that were around watched in horror as the streets were splattered with blood and flesh remains. Soon it slowly dissipated in smoke. Ah, finally. That was tiring. The yellow flash commented. Indeed. The Kizikage agreed. Izikage Dono, you should release the seals now and call everyone for a meeting. We'll go back to Uzumaki and let you explain things to your villagers. When you and your people are ready, flare your chakra on the ring and we'll arrive shortly. Now you will not have to worry about unwanted ears hearing what you'll tell your people. Also, no more unwanted guests will be able to enter the village because of the barrier seal. They will die on the spot. You will be able to collect their bodies for your use or whatever you wish to do with them. There will be no traitors from the inside because as soon as someone decides to betray the village, they will face the same fate the spies have met. Oh, before I forget, here are the scrolls. The Uzukage said as she handed the Kazekage a scroll. He then opened it. There was a huge smoke. Wait. Don't, the woman tried to warn him. But she was a bit too late. The Kazekage widened his eyes as hundreds of scrolls came pouring out from the scroll he just opened. What are these? That, Kazekage Dono, are the memories of all those who died earlier from the ritual. It would seem that this village had hundreds of unwanted guests. I'm sure they will be very useful. I also have copies of them so we could find out where they came from and what they know. Since we are allies now, you do not have to worry about us gaining knowledge from them. Good luck sorting them out. Each person have the number of scrolls depending on their age. Say for example a spy is 50 years old, there will be 50 scrolls for that person. Each scroll has their name and age. Sorting them out will not be that hard. The Uzukage said as she tried to stifle her laugh. Arg. This is too troublesome. The man grumbled. Well, she did warn you. Minato said as he too was trying not to laugh. But she was too late. Heh. Don't worry, I'll leave you some clones to help you sort them out. Kushina said as she made 12 shadow clones. We'll take our leave, Kazekage Dono. We'll see you again later. Okay, thank you. The Kazekage shook hands with the three of them as he thanked them. Moments later they were back to Uzumaki in a flash of yellow lightning. Let's get these sorted out. He told the clones as he grabbed a scroll. 1.5 hours later. Finally. That's taken care of. Thank you for your help. I'll flare my chakra on this ring when I have finished explaining things to my countrymen. Will do. We will let the boss know. The clone said as they dispelled themselves and the memories were transferred to the original. The Kazekage then went to remove the privacy seals he placed on the room earlier. He only have less than an hour to explain before the supposed departure of the teams for the mission. I guess the missions will have to be delayed for 2 hours. He thought as he finished removing the seals and opened the door of his office. Immediately an Anbu captain came in front of him kneeling. Sir. There had been multiple deaths across the village while you were inside. Their deaths were gruesome. They suddenly screamed and their bodies exploded. Thankfully you have ordered us earlier for a lockdown and we are still trying to find the ones who did the brutal killings. Cancel the search. Do not worry about them. I am aware of the killings earlier. Sir. Also, Counselor and Captain Yura is one of those who had been murdered, sir. Yura? Now that's news to me. I should have known he was a traitor. He was acting rather odd. Oh well, he's been taken care of. The Kazekage simply shrugged. Sir? The Anbu was totally confused about their leader. He didn't make sense. Do not worry about it. Now, I want you to alert all the villagers. Shinobi and civilians alike. I want everyone gathered outside the Kazekage mansion in 30 minutes. I have something of importance to announce. All missions that have been assigned will have to be delayed for about 2 hours. Hi. 30 minutes later. There was a lot of murmuring from the crowd. Many were still shaken from what they have witnessed earlier. The sudden deaths really scared them. A lot of them were worried that they were the next village being targeted by the same unknown people who attacked Konoha. Finally their questions will be answered as they saw the Yondaime Kazekage on the balcony. His children also looked confused as they too have no clues on what was happening. They stopped their murmurings when their leader raised his hand. People of Sunagakure. First of all, I assure you that you have nothing to worry about. The sudden deaths of about 100 people earlier were not the doings of the enemy. Their deaths were for the good of the village. I know many of you were probably close friends or acquainted with some of them. But you had no idea they were spies. Yes, those who died earlier were spies. I, with the help of 3 other people, did a ritual that got rid this village of unwanted guests and also placed a barrier seal that will immediately kill future spies that will be sent in here. Many of them were shocked by the revelation. Some of those who knew the people who died were saddened as they now discovered they were spies. They felt like they have been cheated by them. Some were angry for their betrayal of their trust and were now satisfied by their deaths. The Kazekage continued. Now, what I'm about to tell you next must be kept a secret and are for only the people of Suna. Are we clear? Hi. The crowd replied even though many were confused. You all know about Konoha making negotiations with us for an alliance, right? Many of the shinobi nodded as well as some of the civilians. Now, I'm going to tell you that I'm putting up the ongoing negotiations to an end. We are not allying with Konoha. Why, you ask? One of the 3 people with me earlier informed me about Konoha's planned treachery against us once we approve of the alliance with them. Konoha planned on spilling our secrets to the other nations, thus making our country an easy target. We were about to follow what has happened with Uzumaki. Yes, you all know Konoha and Uzumaki were once allies, but the latter was destroyed. I have the documents that will prove they were betrayed by Konoha. I was shown the documents of the report during Uzumaki's supposed downfall. The Leaf conspired with Iwa, Kumo, and Kiri and tried to eliminate the Uzumaki clan. They also kidnapped Kushina Uzumaki's infant child and made the 2-day-old baby the Jinchuriki of the Kyuubi no Yoko the night it attacked Konoha. The Leaf will do the same to Suna if we approved of the alliance. They will take our Jinchuriki and make him their own. Ara looked horrified when he heard his father. Temari and Kankuro looked concerned for their little brother. They went back to listening to their father as he continued to speak. But that revelation, I am going to state Konoha as a neutral county for now. In the coming years I will finally add it to the enemy list. Now, all dealings with Konoha will be ended. There will be no more trade or other friendly terms with them. If you see someone from that village, be it a shinobi or a civilian, ignore them. I am going to be strict with this, do not make any contact with them. Now I know many of you are disappointed because the alliance with the strongest village is now void. But you do not have to worry. For we are now allied with a stronger village. About a week ago, I received a letter from an unknown sender. The letter told me that Sunagaker will have a surge of missions in a few days. A few days later, Konoha was attacked by still unidentified people. The day I received a second letter from the same unknown sender. They revealed themselves to be the ones responsible attacking the Leaf. They also offered an alliance with us. They were the ones who presented me the documents about Konoha's planned betrayal against us and their betrayal to Uzumaki. What we are going to tell you next will be a Class SS secret and only the people of Suna are supposed to know. Anyone spilling it to outsiders will immediately face death. Am I clear? The Kazekage asked. He stared at the crowd seriously, sending amounts of killing intent. Understood? Hi. Good. My brethren, please meet our new allies, meet the leader of Uzumaki. He declared while sending a flare on his ring. No less than 3 seconds later there was a flash of yellow. The crowd had their jaws dropped on the floor as they stared at the people who they believed were now dead. They almost shit themselves as they watched Kushina Uzumaki and Minato Namikaze smiling and waving at them. For the next hour, the Uzukage, the Yondaime Hokage, and with the help of the Yondaime Kazekage, the truth about Uzumaki were revealed and explained to the populace of Suna. The alliance between both villages were also explained. Ara felt happy when he heard about the Uzukage personally requesting him to be brought to her village and let him stay there for at least 5 years. His siblings Temari and Kankuro also felt happy for their little brother. They will not have to worry about assassins being sent after Gaara. Sunagaker thanked their new allies for the huge favor they have done for their village. They revealed about Konoha and also got a surge of missions. They will also now look forward to their village becoming stronger in the next years. Izukage Dono, once again Sunagaker thanks you for everything you have done. I will talk with my children about sending them to your country. Please expect my call in a week. I also thank you Kazekage Dono. Having sent your children to us will be very good for my son, Naruto. They shook hands and then parted. Minato was still receiving funny looks from most of the crowd. He chuckled to himself as he grabbed his wife by the hips, and here I shine back to Uzumaki. Uzumaki. Naruto was in his room reading. He has already finished reading From Man to Shinobi. The Birth of Ninshu, Hagoromo Otsutsuki Rakuto Senin, The Great Shinobi War, and was just about to finish reading the Second Shinobi War. He learned about the founder of Ninshu and Hagoromo's family. Everything started when a female warrior stole a fruit from the god tree, which later became enraged and started killing off people to reclaim its stolen power. This era was referred to as War of the Gods, where the Rakuto Senin battled the Kyuubi with his Rinnegan and managed to defeat it. Hagoromo then divided the power of the Kyuubi into 9. There the tailed beasts were born, ranging from 1 to 9 tails. According to the Great Shinobi War, the tailed beasts were captured and was used as a means by the Shodaime Hokage for peace negotiations. He was able to capture them using his Mokuton abilities and distributed it to the other nations to balance the power. The 9 tails, however, was the only one the Hokage wasn't able to capture as he cannot find it. Time passed by and the beasts did not like being controlled, so they rampaged. The leaders of the respective villages decided to seal them into human beings. The people who held a tailed beast inside them were referred to as Jinchuriki. During the Second Shinobi War, a kunoichi named Mito Uzumaki, who was also the first Uzukage, was able to capture and seal the Kyuubi inside her one night it attacked her village. Later it was found that the Kyuubi had been controlled by the rogue second founder of Konoha, Madara Uchiha, by using his Sharingan and set it to attack Uzumaki. After the incident, the Shodaime Hokage proposed an alliance to Yuzashio by marriage, to which the Uzukage agreed. The two countries then became allies as the Shodaime Hokage and the Shodaime Uzukage got married. Later on, because of her old age, Mito transferred the Kyuubi to her great-granddaughter, Kushina Uzumaki. Naruto suddenly snapped his book shut and grabbed a pen and paper and wrote Rinnegan, Uzumaki clan, and Jinchuriki. He brought a pen and notebook with him as he left his room and dashed off to the library. He went to the front desk and presented the paper to ask for assistance. The librarian led him into a private table and told him to wait as she went to find the books related to the 3 topics he wrote down on the paper. A few minutes later, the librarian returned and handed him a basket of books. Wow. There's too many. I guess I will be here for a while. Naruto thought as he took a book and began scanning it. He looked for something important and began jotting down notes on his notebook. The Rinnegan, or the Samsara Eye, is the Dijutsu of the Sage of the Six Paths, who was also known as Hagoromo Otsutsuki. The Rinnegan was first wielded by Hagoromo. He was known as the Rakuto Sennin because the Rinnegan have 6 realms and an outer realm. The animal realm, or Chikishodo, grants the Rinnegan user the ability to summon various animals and creatures to aid him in battle. The summons are immortal and can be summoned again once it has been defeated or killed in battle. Summoning creatures do not require hand signs or seals. The animal path also grants the user the ability to summon people using hand signs or seals. The Asura path, demon realm, or Shirado, grants the user the ability to summon or create various weapons and armors. The weapons made by the Asura path are very strong. It can easily cut through normally crafted weapons. The user can also make his skin his own armor by hardening it. The Deva path, god realm, or Tendo, grants the user the ability to manipulate force and gravity. Using Tendo's skills have a minimum of 5-second interval, depending on the strength of the jutsu used. Only Hagoromo Otsutsuki have been known who can use the Deva path without the 5-second interval penalty. The human realm, or Ninjendo, grants the user the ability to read the mind of any target. The user can also extract the soul of the target and gain all of its memories, but with the cost of the target's life. The Naraka path, hell realm, or Jigakudo, grants the user 2 main abilities. One is interrogation while the other is restoration. The user can summon the king of hell to interrogate targets. If the target lies during interrogation, it will be consumed by the demon head. If the target then tells the truth, it will be spared. The user can restore any living beings back to its normal state. For example, if a person loses a limb, the user will have that person eaten by the demon head and after a few seconds, will be released with the lost limb back. The Petra path, hungry ghost realm, or Gakido, grants the user to absorb any ninjutsu-based technique. The Petra path can also absorb a target's chakra through physical contact. Last is the outer path, or Jido. The Rinnegan user is granted the ability to revive the dead. Reviving the dead requires a huge amount of chakra. If the chakra is not enough, then a percentage of the user's life force will be consumed instead. Naruto finished the book and took another one. People who have the Rinnegan are believed to be very powerful beings and will bring peace to the world. Only Hagoromo Otsutsuki have been able to unlock the final form of the Rinnegan. Having unlocked its true form means the prophecy for the fate of the world has started that is related to the Kyuubi. The Rinnegan passed down to his descendants look purple with ring patterns on it, while the final form has 6 tomos added with the eye. The prophecy is believed that when the final form is once again born into the world, the Kyuubi will be reborn as well and must be stopped. It is also possible that the Kyuubi will be reborn first and will be followed by the Rinnegan's true and final form. During the War of the Gods, Hagoromo had already unlocked his Rinnegan's final form when the Kyuubi came to Earth and started rampaging. Naruto noticed the book was rather short. He felt that there should be more information about the Kyuubi and the Rinnegan's final form. He decided that maybe he could find more information from other books. Next he took a book that looked so ancient and was bloodied. He opened it and saw the pages were blank. He then checked on the first page and noticed writings on it. Reader. If you are able to read the writings on this page, then that means you are my descendant. You are about to read and learn the secrets of the Uzumaki clan. In order to be able to read the contents of this book, you are required to perform a blood contracting seal. Follow the hand seals required and use the kunai that will appear. Wound yourself and let your blood stain the cover of the book. 3 droplets will do. Next, sign the second page with your name using your blood. Writing your name on this book means that you agree to keep every information that you will learn from this from people outside the Uzumaki clan. This book has seals that updates itself of the current events about the Uzumaki clan. Meaning that even it is past my timeline, the important events will continue up to the current date will be automatically written. Another seal applied on this book will produce a copy for the one who signed it. Receive this gift, for you are in Uzumaki and deserve to know about our clan. Become stronger, descendant. Show the world the power of our clan. Mito Uzumaki. Shodaime Yuzukage and founder of Uzushiogakure. Naruto felt excited and checked his surroundings to see if nobody was watching him. He then followed the hand signs that were written on the book. Uzumaki Secret Blood Seal. Discerning of the ancient secrets. Naruto shouted as he slammed his hand on the book. Suna kunai appeared and he went to make a gash on his palm. He let 3 droplets of blood splatter on the book's cover. Next he went to the second page and noticed a lot of names. He recognized some of the names who have signed it. Kid Uzumaki, Kishina Uzumaki Namikaze, Nagato Uzumaki, Narumi Uzumaki Namikaze, Minako Uzumaki Namikaze, Maiho Uzumaki Namikaze, and lastly, Mio Uzumaki Namikaze. He then signed his name under the last Uzumaki's signature, whose first name was Karen. Soon the book loaded and a few seconds later a copy of it materialized beside it. Naruto checked the copy and read. This book is the property of Uzumaki Namikaze Naruto. Naruto then closed the book and decided to read it back inside his bedroom later. He then set the original aside and grabbed another book. The next book was about the tailed beasts and the Jinchuriki. The book was only published 2 years ago. He scanned and wrote down the important information on his notebook. Jinchuriki, or human sacrifices, are the vessels of the tailed beasts. They are often despised by their villages because of their power and in fear of them releasing the beast sealed inside them. Jinchurikis normally live an awful life and most of them live their lives in seclusion. Ijus, or tailed beasts, are very huge amount of demonic chakra. There are 9 tailed beasts known in existence counting from 1 to 9 tails. Villages usually seal them inside humans to keep them from rampaging around or to simply make use of their power for military purposes. The one tail, or the Ichibi, is a raccoon and has the power to create magnetic forces, control and manipulate sand. The Ichibi, having the least tail of all beasts, is considered the weakest. It has been in possession of Tsunagakure and had been sealed into many different people, but there had been always a problem. The Jinchuriki of the Shukaku are usually insane because of a priest who tried to seal it inside him before. The 2 tails, or the Niibi, is cat and has the power to produce blue flames. It has been known to be in possession of Kumagakure. Kumagakure's the only village known to have treated their Jinchuriki in good ways, unlike the other villages, as their Jinchuriki have been always a relative of the Raikage. The 3 tails, or the Sanbi, is a turtle and has the power to create corals and can swim at high speeds underwater. Known to be in possession of Kurigakure. The 4 tails, or the Yanbi, is a gorilla and has the power to produce lava by combining fire and earth elements. It has been last sealed inside a shinobi named Rashi, a former Iwagakure nin who now lives in isolation. The 5 tails, or the Gobi, has the head of a dolphin and the body of a horse. It has the ability to use steam by combining the nature elements fire and water. It has been last sealed inside Han, also a former Iwa nin, and has followed his fellow Jinchuriki, Rashi's life, who lived away from the village. The 6 tails, or the Rakubi, is a slug that can release amounts of toxic acids. It used to be in possession of Kurigakure, but its Jinchuriki have been declared a missing nin. The 7 tails, or the Nanabi, is a horned beetle that can produce silk or cocoon that are chakra threads. Using its wings, it can also emit blinding powder and naturally has the ability to fly. It has been in possession of Takigakure, the only village that wasn't one of the 5 great nations who possessed a tailed beast. The 8 tails, or the Hachibi, has the head of a bull and the body of an octopus. It can produce ink and also use its head to ram targets when charging. It has been in possession of Kumagakure and has been sealed into 6 hosts. Its host at the moment, Killer B, the Raikage's brother, is the only known Jinchuriki who have full control of his tailed beast. Killer B is also known as the perfect Jinchuriki. He is believed to have befriended the beast sealed inside him and can assume the Hachibi's tailed beast form without losing consciousness. The 9 tails, or the Kyuubi, is the strongest of all tailed beasts as it has the most number of tails. It has the power to detect negative emotions and regenerate quickly. Also it has the ability to use and produce fox fire, one of the strongest kind of fire that can even overpower the Mangekyo Sharingan's Amaterasu. Konoha is known to have the Kyuubi in possession. Jinchuriki also acquires the same power of the beast that is sealed inside them. They also gain the huge amounts of chakra that the tailed beast have. Naruto finished his notes and decided to look on the other books to find out more about the Kyuubi and the Rinnegan. Finding no more important information, he decided to call a librarian and told her he was finished reading. "Do you have any more books about the Kyuubi and the Rinnegan's final form?" he asked, making the librarian assistant widen her eyes. "I am not sure, Naruto-sama. Those books I presented to you were the only ones I know of that were related to those topics. But I'll look for other books for you. Although I should tell you not to expect." "Okay, thank you, miss. I guess I'll return here tomorrow and see if you find anything. Also, can I take this home with me?" Naruto asked, presenting her a book about Konoha and the Kyuubi. "Of course, Naruto-sama. Just sign here and be sure to return it in 3 days." Naruto signed on the book borrower's list and was given a seal. This seal will glow when your 3-day time limit have been consumed and will remind you to return it here. Thank you. I'll be sure to return it. The woman nodded as the young heir walked off back to the mansion. Naruto was back inside his room and immediately read the book about Konoha and the Kyuubi. The Kyuubi's second and former Jinchuriki was Kushina Uzumaki, a kunoichi from Uzumaki that is now destroyed. The Kyuubi managed to escape during its host's giving birth. Jinchuriki's seals were known to become weakened whenever the host is pregnant and is weakest when giving birth. Someone unknown managed to enter Kushina Uzumaki's secret labor room that day and tried to interfere, therefore unleashing the Kyuubi out the woman. The unknown assailant immediately left when he realized that the demon had gotten away. 16 years after, the Kyuubi made its reappearance to Konoha by attacking it. After destroying a percentage of the village and killing many, Konoha managed to reseal it inside a human being. It was the Yondaime Hokage who did the sealing. Using the Shiki Fujin, or the dead demon consuming seal, he sealed the demon inside a newborn child. The process cost the Yondaime's life, and the Sandaime was forced to resume his position as Hokage. Naruto immediately stopped reading and felt his heart beating fast. He was also shaking as memories came back to him. Die. Demon. You killed our Yondaime Hokage. Jinchuriki, or human sacrifices, are the vessels of the tailed beasts. They are often despised by their villages because of their power and in fear of them releasing the beast sealed inside them. Jinchurikis normally leave an awful life and most of them live their lives in seclusion. Naruto-kun. Forgive me as well, it was my fault. I was the one who sealed. He sealed the demon inside a newborn child. The process cost the Yondaime's life. The boy was now crying as realization hit him. Now he knew why Konoha hated him. The boy cried even more as past events back in Konoha returned to his mind and started to haunt him. He remembered every beating and torture he endured during his prison in that village. For the first time, he felt sadness. For the first time, he felt anger. For the first time, he wanted to hurt someone so badly. He wanted his revenge on those who did bad things to him. His blood began to boil as bad memories continued to haunt him. He began losing the capability of thinking rationally as his mind became clouded and he felt hell-bent on killing a lot of people. The only thing that his mind was telling him was to kill. Izukage's office. The Izukage was talking to the council and was briefing them of the events earlier. She was just telling them about Tsunagaku's approval to send the Kazekage's children to Uzushio when she felt a huge chakra spike. Everyone's eyes in the room widened as they recognized the chakra. The chakra was pure evil, and huge waves of it were being sent and radiated throughout the village. Kushina and Minato immediately realized what was happening. Is that? Murmured by one of the council members. Naruto-kun. The parents shouted as they felt an even bigger demonic blast of chakra wave. Everyone in the village stopped what they were doing as they felt waves of demonic chakra coming from the Izukage mansion. Immediately members of Storm appeared everywhere telling and guiding the villagers to head to the underground bunkers immediately. Uchiha. The voice shouted as they saw a figure of a child quickly change into a figure of a fox. Soon it grew bigger as a skeleton formed. Next a skeleton formed flesh and in a few moments, the Kyuubi no Yoko once again stood in its full glory and might. Once again, everyone stopped dead on their tracks on what they have heard. It was also the first time they heard a tailed beast speak, or rather, shout. Konoha. You will pay. Burn. Roy. The fox roared as it made its way away from the village and headed off to the direction of Konoha. In another part of the village, shinobi gathered around their Izukage and waited for her orders. Let Tobi help. Let Tobi help. For Tobi is a good boy. Someone shouted. Everyone turned and saw the former Izukage walking on their direction with a masked man who was jumping frantically. Let Tobi help. Tobi knows what to do. The masked man said as everyone stared at him and widened their eyes in shock. The man had his Sharingan on and it looked different from the normal ones. The Sharingan. Who is this man? Why is he with Arashi-sama? Why does he have a Sharingan? What is an Uchiha doing here? Why does his Sharingan look different? Is that the Mangekyo Sharingan? Most of the shinobi thought to themselves as they stared in confusion at the weird man. Tobi, no. Get away from here. If he sees you, he will no doubt attack you. I cannot risk you dying. The Kyuubi stopped its march as it sensed a familiar presence. Its eyes searched the village and rested on the spot where a huge number of shinobi were gathered. Uchiha. Roar. This is not good. He has sensed you. The former Izukage told his companion as the Kyuubi let out an angry roar. Oh shit. The bad fox has sensed Tobi. Tobi must run now, because if he does not, Tobi is going to die. The masked man screamed at the top of his lungs as he darted off away from harm while waving his arms in the air. What the fuck? Most of the shinobi who were watching shouted in their heads. They immediately regained composure and stood in attention, waiting for orders. "Do-sama." The Uzukage regarded her father. "What are we going to do? We cannot just attack it as it might hurt my Neri-chan. Keep it away from the village. Lead it to the shorelines. I want sealing barriers waiting there and already set up to keep the Kyuubi from going outside our protective seals. It will eventually lose steam and Naruto-kun will regain consciousness. Trust in Naruto-kun. I'm sure he will be able to control the Kyuubi. Now go." Everyone nodded as all of them headed for the shorelines. Minato went after the Kyuubi to lure it or to harassing it to the beach to keep the village from getting destroyed. "Do-sama. Who was that man? Why did he have a Manjikyu Sharingan? What was he doing with you? And why is he like that? Did he hit his head or something? Tobi is a good boy. I'll tell you about him later." Arashi chuckled as they followed to the shorelines. Minato's pav. Minato immediately went after the masked man to assist. He rushed past the Kyuubi and got to Tobi. "Tobi, we need to lure the Kyuubi to the shorelines. The others are setting a trap there and away from the village." The masked man stared at Minato in surprise as he was addressed. He then got over it and nodded. "Tobi is going to lure the bad fox to the trap. Because Tobi is a good boy. Tobi is a good boy." Minato nodded as they went to the shorelines. The good news, the village were safe from being damaged by the Kyuubi. The bad news, Minato was recognized by the Kyuubi and it also went after him. "You. It was you. It was you who sealed me the Kyuubi inside me." The Kyuubi roared. Minato noticed the two voices. "Me? How did my son know? Did someone tell him? You and Kachan left me to suffer in Konoha. You let them take me. Now I know why everyone treated me so badly. It was you who did it. I know you are an Uchiha. I can see your fucking eye. You are related to that bastard who controlled me. I'm going to kill you. You left me alone." It roared as two personalities were trying to overpower each other and speak. "This is all your fault." It roared and cried at the same time. Minato could hear the anguish in its voice. He was certain now of his son knowing everything. But how he found out, he did not have any idea. Normal pav. Everyone in the village could hear its ramblings. They felt quite sorry as they knew the youngest heir was somehow conscious and was currently feeling a lot pain and hurt in his heart. Kushina heard her son through the Kyuubi and also felt heartbroken. Her Neri-chan blamed them for what happened to him. Of course he had every right to be angry at them as she knew she should have looked for her son when he was kidnapped. Minato felt his heart like it was being squeezed. He felt very guilty for being the cause of his son's awful life in Konoha. Both parents blamed themselves for what has and what was currently happening to their son. They felt how much hurt he was. Minato stumbled and thankfully Tobi was able to catch him. The masked man helped him run towards the shoreline. They were almost near. They reached their destination and Tobi guided the blonde and let the man hug his wife. "This is all my fault," Minato and Kushina both said as they bowed their heads low and cried in shame. The former Uzukage, seeing how broken his daughter and his son-in-law at the moment, took charge. "Here it comes." Arashi roared. The Kyuubi found its target and let out another roar. It went at them charging fast. "Seal. Hi. Uzumaki style. Enclosure of the 5 elements." All of the shinobi roared as they activated the trap. 5 different beams of chakra shot to the sky and immediately connected to each other and formed a pentagonal prism and held the demon fox inside. The Kyuubi tried to run past it but found it could not. It roared in frustration and charged at the barrier. The ground shook as the barrier stood still and the Kyuubi no Yoko remained inside. It continued to rampage inside its cage and tried to escape. Naruto's mindscape. Naruto was hunched into a ball and was still crying. He stopped crying for a moment as he felt cold and thought he heard his cries echoed. He looked up and found himself inside an enclosed forest. He felt scared as he had no idea how he got there. Where am I? He sniffled as he walked around the forest trying to find another life form. He saw a pathway and followed it. He walked for about what seemed to be 10 minutes and finally saw a clearing. At the far end he saw a golden cage that seemed to be 70 feet high and 100 feet wide. On its gate was a red tag with the kanji for seal on it. "Whoa" was the only thing he said as he marveled at the huge cage. "Hello? Is anybody here? So my jailer finally graces me with his presence." A booming voice said. Naruto jumped in fear as he was startled and found the voice dark and heavy. "Who's there?" He nervously asked as he heard footsteps approaching. You're the his voice was lost as he was now staring at a giant fox with 9 tails. The fox lowly roared as its tails went swishing around. The light of the cage illuminated the fox, allowing the boy to watch it in its glory. "Be beautiful. Wow, you are so beautiful and awesome." Naruto squealed in amazement. He had stars in his eyes as he stared at the fox with an adoring look. The QB stopped trying to intimidate the boy and was now very confused on how he was acting. He tilted its head and examined the boy. Naruto found the fox more adorable as it tilted its head in confusion. Beautiful. You find me awesome. The great and fearsome QB no Yoko is found beautiful and awesome by a 5-year-old boy and is not even intimidated at all. Look at him everyone, he's got stars in his eyes. The QB said as it sighed, totally forgetting about trying to intimidate the boy, seeing it was useless. But you really are beautiful. You look magnificent with your tail swishing around. It's freaking awesome. He said as he unconsciously entered the cage. The boy tried to touch the fox while it growled menacingly at him. Naruto failed to notice it as he was too starstruck with the QB. You are an odd human, did you know that? It asked him softly. The intimidating voice gone. Now replaced by a warm and beautiful voice. But the Naruto said as he watched the QB slowly shrunk. Soon he was staring at a beautiful woman with long red hair and red captivating eyes. You just. The boy stuttered. His eyes widened as he noticed the woman was not wearing anything. You're. The boy did not finish his sentence as he fainted. His cheeks were red from blushing. Now that's cute, the vixen commented as she picked up the boy and walked to a nearby tree. She sat down and rested the boy's head on her lap. I'm not getting dressed if he keeps fainting like this. He must imagine me wearing clothes first. This is his mindscape after all. She muttered to herself as she waited for the boy to regain consciousness. Ugh. What Naruto shouted as he realized he cannot see. Shhhhh. Relax. It's just my hand. I'm covering your eyes. You will probably faint again if you saw me. Now, imagine me clothed before I let you see again. Oh. Okay, Naruto said as he imagined the woman clothed. Whoa, wait. Not orange. I'm fine with a simple white kimono. Not your orange jumpsuit. But you said to imagine you clothed. Yeah, I did. But not orange. It's horrible. It doesn't complement my hair. BFFT. Okay. Now that's better. Thank you. The woman said as she let the boy see again. The boy took in his surroundings and realized he was resting his head on the woman's lap. She was now wearing a white kimono as he imagined. Okay, so, wow. You are a female. I didn't know that. That's awesome, I guess. But the question is, who are you, really? Me? I thought you already figured it out. I'm the QB no Yoko. I know that already. But who are you? What is your name? You cannot just be the QB, sure, you are the fox with 9 tails. But that's just your title, right? You got to have a name. So what is your name? You really are an odd one. You are the first human who asked for my name. What? So people just referred to you as the QB na Yoko? The woman sadly nodded. The boy went to a sitting position and hugged her. It's okay. You can tell me your name. The blonde said as he showed the redeed one of his foxy grins. The woman finally smiled. You're a good person. I can see it in you. Well, I've been living with you ever since you were born, so, yeah. Should I tell you my name? You seemed polite enough, so I guess it won't hurt telling you my name, and since you asked so nicely. Kurama. My name's Kurama. She smiled at the boy warmly. Nice to meet you, Kurama-chan. I'm Naruto. Kurama just smiled and nodded. Can I ask you something? You already did. But, sure. Ask. How did I get here? Where am I? You do not know. Oh, right. This is your first time. We are inside your mindscape. You see, your pent-up negative emotions finally reached its limit and you sort of exploded. Right now, you have achieved my 9-tailed fox form and are currently rampaging. What? The boy asked, horrified. How do I stop? I need to wake up. There's nothing you can do. You need to let it all out. If you don't, then you will die. I am also the embodiment of hate, you see. One of my powers is detecting negative emotions. You have lots. And so do I. Both our anger, sadness, and resentment have combined and ultimately caused you to lose consciousness while your body transformed into the QB. The boy just sadly nodded. Great. Now Yuzushi Agakure will also think of me as a demon. They will treat me just like Konoha. I don't think they will. You see, your parents and your village loves you. They understand your pain. It is just normal for a person to let loose from time to time. She said as she heard his thoughts. How? We are in your mindscape. I can hear what you are saying in your head. Oh. What are you feeling at the moment? Sad. Betrayed. Kurama just nodded, encouraging the boy to talk more. Although I try to forgive them, in the back of my mind, I just can't. They abandoned me. And now that I know why Konoha hated me, I blame my father for everything. Irideed felt guilty. She felt she was the bane of his existence. I'm sorry. This is all my fault. No. It is not your fault. I do not blame you for what's happened to me. The boy told her sternly. What? But something tells me you two were just also a victim. I do not know how. But I can tell you are innocent. I do not blame you for being sealed inside me. You don't? Kurama felt like she wanted to cry and hug the boy. Of course not. You are my friend after all. I trust in you. All you have to do is prove it. Friend? You consider me your friend. Of course we are friends. Now I knew it was you who kept me from dying. I haven't thanked you for that yet, so thank you. Thank you for keeping me alive. Thank you for healing me. Thank you for being with me. Kurama felt speechless. The boy didn't hate her being sealed inside him. Nor he didn't blame her for what's happened to him. He did the opposite. Naruto thanked her for being with him. We will be here for a while. You have a lot of anger to let out. So I would like to show you something. I think it's the least I can do. And since you asked for it, I'm proving my innocence to you. I know you are a good person, Kurama-chan. Naruto smiled at her. Kurama did not miss the person and the chan suffix. He is treating me like an equal, like a person himself. He really is different from most humans. She thought to herself as she nodded to Naruto. Let me take you back to the time when Uzumaki and Konoha was newly founded. Anime style. Flashback no jutsu. Newly founded Konoha. My friend, there is no need for violence. We can just ask them to ally with us. Hashirama, they rival us in power. Some say that their clan is even stronger than both our clans combined. They must be destroyed before they get stronger. Madara, your judgment is being clouded. Think this over. I will talk to you again once you have cooled down. Hashirama said as he walked away. No. Not you too. Why does everyone contradict me? Even my clansman does not even listen to me anymore. 2 hours later, Uchiha compound. My brethren, we must revolt. I already told you before that the Senju will someday overthrow us. This so-called peace is temporary. Madara said before his whole clan. We cannot do that. We have been warring with the Senju for 100 years. Now that they have called for our battles to a stop, we cannot just go back to our former state. We cannot let them reign forever. It should have been us who leads Konoha. But we do lead Konoha with the Senju. No, we don't. It should have been me and Uchiha who became the Shodaime Hokage. There is a reason why we Uchihas, your own clansmen, voted for Hashirama for the position of the Shodaime. The Senju wants peace, well you want war. But we Uchihas also want peace. There will be no peace forever. Just so you know, Hashirama plans on allying with the Uzumaki clan. If that happens, they will be stronger. And our clan will be oppressed in the future. You are being paranoid, Madara. No, I am not. I just want what is best for the clan. Let us say we agreed to revolt. Then what? The Senju allies with the Uzumaki. The Uzumaki clan is far stronger than both Senju and Uchiha clans combined. We challenge both clans, and then the Uchiha will be slaughtered. We do not stand a chance at all. You will only lead our clan to an end. Madara was feeling down by his clansmen more and more. But he still tried to convince them. My people, you forget that we have eyes that can take down a whole nation. We do have a chance to defeat them. For we have this. Madara proclaimed as he flared them his Manjikyu Sharingan. We do have the Manjikyu Sharingan, yes. But we still do not stand a chance against the Uzumaki. They are direct descendants of the Rakuto Sennin. I would not be surprised if the Uzumaki clan wielded the Rinnegan. That is only a myth. It has not been proven by anyone. Nobody alive has ever seen the Rinnegan. Only the Six Paths himself wielded it. The Uchiha clan will discover about the Uzumaki clan's Rinnegan if they really do wield it in terms of peace rather than see the Rinnegan used by them in battle. We are not going anywhere with this. This meeting is pointless. We will not revolt. We will keep our peace with the Senju. We will not wish for our clan to be put to a meaningless slaughter. Uchiha Madara tried to convince his clan every 2 consecutive days. But his clan still would not listen to him. Finally, he gave up on his 3rd attempt to talk to them. A week after his last talk with Hashirama, Madara finally decided to leave the village. He cut his ties with the Uchiha clan and Konoha. Since nobody would listen to him, he made plans on destroying both the Senju and the Uzumaki. He felt betrayed by his own clan, and so he hated his clansmen for it. They too will pay for their insubordination. He was the Uchiha clan head. But they no longer listened to him. Madara had been a missing nin for 2 weeks now. Back in Konoha, the Shodaime Hokage, Senju Hashirama, had begun his negotiations with the head of the Uzumaki clan. The negotiations were almost complete and soon Uzumaki will be allied to Konoha. Meanwhile, Madara finally found a way to annihilate both clans. He was wandering off while training and stopped on a nearby cave to take some rest. He then heard low growling sounds inside the cave. He went to inspect and found the thing Hashirama had failed to find. Madara found the Kyuubi no Yoko. He watched the giant 9-tailed beast sleeping peacefully. Who would have thought I would be the one to find it? And to think that no one ever did when it is inside the fire country's borders. Madara thought to himself as he applied chakra on his eyes and activated his Sharingan. The QB felt an intruding presence and opened its eyes. Its eyes found a man with long black hair wearing a red battle armor and a gourd-like battle staff on his back. The man had red eyes with 3 tomos on it. "So an Uchiha graces me with his presence," the QB muttered. "On this day 4th, I am going to be your new master. Don't make me kill you. Leave now while I'm still feeling merciful. You are the one who is going to be in my mercy." The QB rose and angrily roared at the intruder. The audacity of the man. How dare him. It took in the man's features and memorized it. "Know your place, demon. Remember this. I, Uchiha Madara, am your master. Manjikyu Sharingan. Kodamatsukami." The last thing the QB remembered seeing before it lost consciousness was a pair of red eyes with a star-like formation on it. The 3 tomos evolved. "Go to Uzumaki and destroy the Uzumaki clan. When you are done, attack Konoha next." Madara commanded the QB through his thoughts. The QB roared and left the cave, heading out to comply his master's command. "Ooh. I cannot be controlled by a mere human." The QB thought as it tried to fight, but its mind and body won't respond, and it still moved to follow the Uchiha's orders. Later that night, Uzumaki. Mito Uzumaki, the Shodaime Uzukage, was awake and was watching over her village when she felt an evil presence. Something, or someone with a very huge chakra was approaching fast. Mito alerted the village and called for her subordinates. "I can sense something with a very huge chakra approaching fast. Alert the village and escort everyone to the safe houses. I want every shinobi available follow me to the shorelines. We will meet the intruder there." Hi. Soon the sounds of the sirens woke the whole village and genins escorted them to safety. The higher-ups went after their Uzukage to assist. As they were preparing, they heard a very loud and angry roar. What the hell was that? Izushio shorelines. Mito Uzumaki stared at the sea as she felt the huge chakra signature approaching fast. Soon she saw a giant fox with 9 tails. What the hell? The shinobi that gathered shouted in unison. "Is that the QB? Don't let it get past the shorelines. It must not reach the village," the Uzukage ordered. "Sealing teams, here it comes, sealing teams, get ready." Uzumaki style. Enclosure of the 5 elements. The shinobi roared as they trapped the QB. "Hold still. It's going to break free." "Ayaya." The people screamed as the QB shook the ground. It thrashed wildly inside its trap, causing some of its captors to lose balance. "It's out." Battle formation. "Why?" They screamed in pain as they were swatted like flies. "It's charging to the village. Everyone, clear the way. You have done your duty. Leave the battle to me." Mito Uzumaki told her shinobi as her eyes turned purple and ring patterns formed on it. Everyone immediately got out of the way as they realized what their Uzukage was about to do. "Ansho Tenon." The Uzukage said as she raised her arms forward and opened her hands showing her palms. An invisible force forced the QB to stop its charge. It roared in anger as it was halfway dragged and floated back to the shorelines. Everyone watched the battle in amazement as the QB was dragged towards their Uzukage. Their leader sidestepped as the QB neared her to avoid getting hit. It hovered above their Uzukage for a moment before she called on another jutsu. Shinra Tensei. The QB was sent back crashing to the sea. Mito went after it and quickly made hand seals. "I will not let you destroy my village," she declared as she finished her seals. "Senpo. Maya Jinman, Sage Art. Gate of the Great God." Seal head. A huge red torii fell down from the heavens and pinned the QB's neck to the ground. Seal 10. Then more toris fell down and landed on each tail. The last landing on top of its body. The QB was now pinned to the seafloor and unable to move. Uzumaki Secret Blood Seal. Double hexagonal consuming seal. 6 pillars appeared forming a hexagonal prism, trapping the QB inside. Another prism appeared and connected to the Uzukage. The QB was slowly sucked by the hexagon and was transferred to the other that was connected to the Uzukage. It gave one last hateful roar before it got completely sealed inside the woman. "If you use your power, only hatred will come from it. Stay tranquil deep inside me," Mito told the beast that was now sealed inside her as she headed back to the shore. The scene became disrupted and abruptly ended. Flashback end. Whoa. What happened? Why did we stop? Something has happened outside that interrupted us. Outside the mindscape. The Naruto transformed into QB was still rampaging inside the pentagonal trap. The ground shook as it attempted to get out. "Arashi-sama, it's going to break free. Why do I feel like this is a deja vu?" The former Uzukage thought as his eyes changed color and became purple. Kushina looked at the former Uzukage in time and realized what her father was about to do. "Dusan. Please don't. You're going to hurt Naruto-kun." The barrier shattered and before the Kyuubi could realize it was free again, Kushina rushed in front of it. Kushina. Yuzuka-ge-sama. Everyone shouted in concern as they watched the woman rush to the Kyuubi. Naruto-kun, please. Please come back. Come back to us. Please come back to Kachan. She sobbed and begged to the creature in front of her. Everyone nervously watched their Yuzukage as she was completely vulnerable. The Kyuubi also stopped thrashing and stared at the woman in front of it. Kachan, it growled lowly. Naruto's mindscape. Kurama and Naruto watched what was happening outside through their minds. It would seem that you are starting to calm down now. Kachan. We'll continue watching the memories later. Outside Naruto's mindscape. Kachan, it repeated. And then it roared angrily. You abandoned me. You left me in the hands of Konoha. Naruto-kun, I'm so sorry, his mother sobbed as she fell to her knees. Please, come back to us. Let us fix our mistakes. Minato said as he appeared beside Kushina. Naruto-kun, Kushina still wept. It felt like an hour, but it only 3 minutes have passed before the cube-fied Naruto finally calmed down. Its body released steam as it slowly shrunk. A few more minutes passed, they were now staring at a blonde child with his skin very bloody. The boy's skin also released steam as it got healed and returned to normal. Naruto-kun. Minato and Kushina shouted as they both rushed to catch their son. Kushina quickly took her son and cradled him to her arms. Naruto-kun, I'm so sorry, Kushina murmured as she stood up carrying her son's unconscious form. The parents now noticed their son was still clutching a book. Minato took the book from the boy and inspected it. He found out it was a book about Konoha when the Kyuubi attacked. So this is how he found out. I thought someone told him. He figured it out by himself. Minato murmured and showed the book to his wife. Let us go back to the village. Kushina told him. She then turned to her shinobi and addressed them. Return to the village and inspect for damages. Half of you remain here and check the village's protective seals. See if there are any leaks. Hi. Minato vanished in a flash of yellow and now stood behind Tobi, a kunai on the masked man's neck. Ack. Let Tobi go. Tobi is a good boy. Minato, calm down. He is not that man. Arashi told him. We'll explain everything about him later. The blonde let him go and put his kunai back in his pouch. The 4 people plus 1 unconscious child went back to the village. Back to Naruto's mindscape. Hello Kurama-chan. Welcome back Naruto. Now, let us continue. Flashback no jutsu. 18 years ago. Outside Konoha. Secret location. Push. I can see the head. Both Minato and Kushina shouted. Minato shouted in pain as his wife gripped his hand while Kushina screamed on giving birth. A little more. Push. I'm going to kill you Minato. This is your fault. Kill him later. Push. She's almost out. The midwife said as Minato paled even more. One last push. Yue. A small voice cried. My baby. Kushina cried. Narumi-chan, she murmured. Minato massaged his hand and went to his wife's side. But before he could, he felt an incoming presence. What a loving family. A voice said. Everyone turned and saw a masked man with his eyes visible. He wielded the Sharingan. How unfortunate would it be if someone killed her? The man said as he appeared beside Kushina and grabbed the baby. He threw it across the room. No. Minato rushed to catch his daughter. Minato was able to catch his daughter and held her. He turned and saw the man pressing his wife's stomach making her scream in pain. The Kyuubi. It's going to break free. Kushina. Wake up. You need to keep it inside. Minato frantically shouted to his wife who was now unconscious. You bastard. How dare you try to kill my granddaughter? The midwife roared in anger as she immediately appeared behind the man and punched him with her superhuman strength. The man was sent flying into the wall and the wall got blasted away as the man collided with it. He had no choice but to battle with the angry woman. Meanwhile the room was already collapsing because of the ongoing battle. Minato still carried Narumi in his arms while the nurses helped move Kushina's bed out of the room. They cannot do anything about the Kyuubi now as the Jinchuriki was unconscious. They rushed back to Konoha's gates and was immediately helped. Minato. What happened? A pale man appeared. Orochimaru-sensei. A masked man appeared after Kushina gave birth. He released the Kyuubi from her seal. He is now battling with Tsunade-sama. I'm going to assist my teammate. Take care of the 2, Minato. Orochimaru arrived at the birthing place and found it destroyed, turned into a battlefield. He just arrived in time to keep his teammate from being killed. The masked man was about to finish of his teammate. Tsunade Tajashu. multiple striking shadow snakes. He shouted as snakes shot out of his arm and attacked the masked man. The mask got hit in the neck and was thrown away from the woman. He was unable to dodge since his body was all banged up. He had multiple cuts and multiple broken bones. "You're lucky today, Konoha. I will return," the masked man proclaimed as he vanished in space. Tsunade. The pale man rushed to his teammate. "My daughter, Kushina, my granddaughter, Narumi, promise me keep them safe," the woman told Orochimaru before she lost consciousness. Orochimaru carried his teammate and rushed her to the hospital. The Kyuubi ended up escaping during the battle. It turned out that it was under control by the masked man, but lost control of it when he battled the very angry midwife. Tsunade, because of the man messing up with technique, the Sozu Saisei, ended up in a coma. The doctors were able to identify that her body was forced to do and undo the Kenjutsu multiple times before she got her chakra drained, making both her mind and body very weak and put in a death-like state. 14 years later, Konoha. Hokage's office. Minato. "You cannot just leave Konoha. You are the Hokage." "But Tobi. Uzumaki is under attack. I need to go to my family." He tried to argue to the old man, but he just got out of the room. "Don't worry about it, Minato. I'll convince sensei. You may stay here." "Thank you, Orochimaru sensei," Minato said as Orochimaru went after Tobi to convince him and gather reinforcements to send to Uzushio. Outside the office. "Sensei. We need to help our allies." "No. We'll only get on the way. The reinforcements we'll send will be killed. There are too many enemies. We won't stand a chance." "But they are our allies." "No. What the hell is wrong with you, sensei? You know what? I don't care. I'm going to Uzushio with or without your help. I'm going to assist our allies," Orochimaru yelled as he stormed off. Tobi just watched the pale man walk away. "We cannot let him waste his life for those people. They will be all dead before this day ends," said a new voice. "Anzo. Order your route to stop my student from leaving." "As you wish." The Warhawk nodded as he signaled for his hidden route members. A root Anbu appeared in front of them kneeling. "Anzo-sama. Tobi-sama. Fugaku-san has arrived with the child." "Good. Take us to him." Outside Fire Country. The masked man who attacked and vanished 14 years ago had already made a full recovery. He went on the lookout for the Kyuubi and was able to find it after searching for years. "And so we meet again. You. I'm going to kill you. I am your master. You will follow my orders." "Aye. Manjikyu Sharingan. Kodamatsukami." "Ooh. Not again. Become a useful servant, demon. Go to Konoha and destroy it." 6 hours later, Konohagakure. "Ooh aye. Aye. The Konoha shinobi screamed before they died. Some were crushed by the Kyuubi's paws, some were killed by its claws. Some died getting bit, cut in half, and bled to death. 100 bodies now lay dead on the streets while buildings were on fire. The populace was losing morale, and many were starting to give up. Brute base. We will use this child. This thing will be our future weapon. He will be able to survive the process. He is in Uzumaki just like the Kyuubi's previous Jinchurikis. Let us talk to Minato about using the Shiki Fujin. His sacrifice will be for Konoha. And we will finally get rid of that man. Fugaku. Cast a gain jutsu on this child so Minato would not recognize it. Ironic if he agrees to it. He will seal a demon to his own son. Orochimaru is still locked up in prison. Even if he manages to escape, it will be too late to save his precious student. Konoha forests. The shinobi were able to drive the Kyuubi away from the village. They regained hope when their Yondaime Hokage finally showed up. Fuchius no Jutsu. "What the hell did you call me for, you brat? I demand 100 human sacrifice for this. Manda. I need your help. Why the hell am I sitting on top of the Kyuubi? Don't argue. Just help me here, damn it. Minato. The only way to defeat the Kyuubi is to seal it inside a human. Use this child." "What? Whose child is this?" "We do not know. A woman just gave this child to us a few minutes ago. She said the child's an Uzumaki survivor from the attack." "Survivor? What of my family?" "I'm sorry, Minato. Orochimaru managed to persuade me and we sent reinforcements after we talked. But they too were killed. The woman told us this child is the last Uzumaki alive." The blonde Hokage froze in horror and grief. The child before him was the last Uzumaki alive. His family was dead. He was the only one left. He immediately fell into depression. The Sunday Ami and the Warhawk used his depression to manipulate him. "We are very sorry for your loss, Minato." "That sounds suspicious. That Gaki looks exactly like Minato. Didn't he have a newborn son? What if that's him?" "Yes, the child's got to be his son." The boss snake thought as he was not affected by the gain jutsu that was cast on the child by Uchiha Fugaku. It is the only way, Minato. My family is gone, who will I live for now? The blonde Hokage asked. Completely lost. Manjikyu Sharingan Fugaku whispered. Seal the Kyuubi inside this child. Minato just blankly nodded and took the infant. Boy, Brett. What are you doing? You can't just seal the Kyuubi into your own son. How did that snake know? We cannot let that thing hinder our plans. That snake needs to be dismissed. It will only interfere with our plans. Danzo thought as he glanced at Fugaku. Signaling him to do something. Minato. Dismiss your summon. The blonde Hokage just nodded as he dismissed Manda. Something is wrong here. Why are Minato's eyes blank? Is he under control? Shit. He is. The snake thought. Before he could try and wake his summoner, Minato dismissed him. Good. Now, seal the Kyuubi inside your son. Muahaha. Shiki Fujin. No. I'm not getting sealed again. The Kyuubi angrily thought as it regained consciousness from being controlled by the masked man. A Shinigami appeared and did the ritual. The Kyuubi was sealed inside the child. Just as when it was about to drag Minato's soul, the man regained consciousness. Ugh. What happened? Wait, why is the Shinigami here? Oh, Kami-sama, I sealed the Kyuubi inside that innocent child. He thought as he got the memories earlier while he was being controlled. He sealed the Kyuubi inside an innocent child. But there was nothing he can do now. Sir Tobi. I want this child to be treated as a hero. I want him to be treated by Konoha as a hero. He is the one who defeated the Kyuubi. That is my final wish as Hokage. Minato told the old man as his soul was dragged to the stomach of the Shinigami. Flashback end. Naruto was speechless after watching the memories. Naruto, are you alright? The boy was once again crying. Kurama tried to comfort the boy and hugged him. SHHH. It's alright. You've been controlled. And my dad too. And my family was betrayed by who they believed their allies. I didn't know. And I was angry at them. Now they probably hate me for what I've told them earlier. Your parents won't be angry at you. They understand your pain. They love you. How? What do you mean? How were you able to do it? You said you were the embodiment of hate. But you do not look hateful. How did you overcome it? I am not really sure. There is something in you. Before you got here, I always thought of murdering you the first time you visit me. But when I saw you, I just felt a calming presence. It felt so warm and friendly and full of life. I don't understand. I was inside you. I saw everything you've been through. But you still kept moving forward. I think it is your happy and positive personality. Your forgiving side. I don't understand. I am not actually happy. That was just a mask. I hated Konoha for what they did. I hated myself for not being able to defend myself. I hated my parents for abandoning me. That was your other side. You see, everyone has two sides. The bright side and the dark side. Your past experiences in life put you through a lot. And most were bad. It has piled up and your dark side is showing has overpowered you with my dark side combined. Our negative feelings and emotions piled up high and merged, causing you to channel my dark side's chakra and transform into Kyuubi. How do we overpower it? How can we not filled with hate? Love, Naruto. It's love. Let me tell you something I've heard from your great-great-grandmother, Mito Uzumaki. When she was too old and needed to transfer me into another vessel, she told your mother this: we came here to be the vessels of the nine tails, but before that, we must find love and fill the vessel with it. When your mother became Jinchuriki, she was always able to suppress my rage. She always fought my dark side. I'm not comparing her to you, okay? I just want you to understand the power of love. Naruto, you have a lot of people around you who loves you dearly. Use it. Make it your power. Your motivation. Remember what you told your parents. You wanted to become a shinobi so that you could protect those who are precious to you. That is love, Naruto. Having someone to protect will drive you to become stronger. I see. Love, the boy whispered. He was still trying to comprehend what Kurama told him. They were silent for a few minutes. Kurama-chan. You are innocent. What? You are innocent. You did not mean to attack Uzumaki and Konohagakure. You were controlled by that time. Yes, I was. But humans thought I attacked them on my own will. I will tell them you did not. I will tell them you were controlled. I am going to prove your innocence, Kurama-chan. You would really do that? Of course. We are friends, right? Friends? Oh, okay. Yay. We are friends. The boy cheered. Thank you for sharing with me those memories, Kurama-chan. I'm going to take a rest now. I feel like my head's going to explode. The boy tried to excuse himself as he felt troubled by his transformation earlier. Kurama did not notice the boy's conflicted look. Come visit me again whenever you feel like it. You're always welcome here. Having you around makes me feel good and warm. Will do, Kurama-chan. The boy said as he vanished. He may be just like father. He treated us tailed beasts as beings and not some evil creations. You understand our feelings just like the Rakuto Sennin. I will expect great things from you, Naruto-kun. Kurama thought as smiled to herself. Outside Naruto's mindscape. The day had already passed since the Kyuubi Naruto rampaged. He was still bedridden and his parents were now worried. They haven't left their son's side since yesterday and forgot about interrogating Tobi the good boy for now. Minato-kun, he still hasn't awakened. Naruto-kun will be fine. Our son is strong. He is just resting. I believe that was the first time he got access to the Kyuubi's chakra. And he did transform into the Kyuubi itself. Just then they heard their son whimpering. No, no. Please. Please don't hurt me. It was an accident. The boy cried as he rolled in his sleep. Please, I did not mean it. Don't be like Konoha. I am not a demon. Naruto-kun. Kushina immediately rushed beside her son and hugged him. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I didn't mean it. Please don't hurt me. The boy continued to cry in his sleep while he shook his head. Naruto-kun, please wake up. That is not true. We do not hate you. Please, wake up. Kushina said as she gently shook her son trying to wake him. Naruto woke up from his nightmare and realized his mother was hugging him. Ha-chan. Tu-chan. The boy said weakly. His parents looked at him and found him finally awake, but he looked very miserable. Naruto-kun. Shhhh. It's okay, don't cry. I'm sorry. I did not mean to get angry. I'm sorry. Please don't hate me. The boy begged as he cried to his mother. It's okay, Naru-chan. We understand. We do not hate you for what happened. I was angry at you at everyone. But I did not understand and I did not know the truth. But now I know. I'm sorry. His parents were a bit confused with his words but decided to ask him about it later. Shhh. It's alright, Sachi-kun. Ka-chan loves you. Tu-chan loves you. Your siblings love you. Yuzushiogakure loves you. We know everything you have been through. We understand your pain and your pent-up anger. You will not be hated for transforming into Kyuubi. It is normal for a person to be angry and explode at one point. You have been through a lot. Love, Naruto whispered. Yes, Naruto-kun. Love. We love you, Naru-chan. Kushina said as she kissed her son's forehead. Naruto nodded and later fell asleep again. He's still tired. Kushina-chan, I'll be going out for now. I need to speak with the council. His wife nodded and he left his son's room. Kushina laid her son to the bed and cuddled with him. Soon she too fell asleep. Report. Hi. Uzumaki-sama, the team that was sent to Takigakure, has located the Nanabi Jinchuriki. They are now befriending the girl. They managed to enter the village and approach the girl with no problems at all. They told us to expect them back with her in about 3 to 5 days. Good. Any other news about possible allies? Uzumaki asked the council. None yet, Uzumaki-sama. We are still monitoring the minor nations. Although we are considering allying with Grass Country. One of them said. Uzumaki-sama. We have also considered Demon Country. Although it is at war at the moment. At war with whom? What country? Actually, they are at war with the demons that reside within their country. The current priestess, Moroku, has declared war against the demon king, Morio, who's been freed once again. The demon king has escaped his prison with the aid of some of his loyal followers by using some kind of dark medical jutsu. We believe that within 2 to 3 months, Morio will regain his full powers and will be able to resurrect his ghost army. This is not good. With the ghost army resurrected, even the 5 great nations will have trouble fighting them back. Uzumaki-sama, if I may ask, what is this ghost army? The ghost army is Morio's personal army. These warriors are made of stone and are very hard to defeat. They can sustain very heavy amounts of damage and can regenerate if ever it loses a part. We must provide assistance with Morio's sealing. The last time he was sealed, the priestess had to sacrifice herself. We cannot let the current priestess, Moroku, sacrifice herself like her mother and die. This current war could be beneficial for us. If we are to provide assistance, Oni no Kuni will be grateful to us. We will be able to easily establish an alliance with them. Indeed. The Uzumaki agreed. If I remember correctly, the current priestess have a daughter, right? Hi, Uzumaki-sama. The princess's name is Shion. She's near Naruto-sama's age. I will deal with the matter with Demon Country personally. I'm bringing my youngest son, Naruto, along with me. If I may ask, Uzumaki-sama, why bring Naruto-sama with you? I have my faith in you but don't you think he might get in the crossfire? Some of the council members asked. It would be great if the priestess's daughter and my son develop a friendly relationship so in the future, once Shion inherits her mother's position, our alliance with them would still be secured. Also, I thank you for your concern with my son. But I believe he will be of great help when I come to Demon Country. You see, I intend on bringing Shion here in Yuzukage for protection while the war with the demons are ongoing. With Naruto along, the priestess will be easier to convince bring her daughter here. We understand your point Yuzukage-sama. That is indeed a great idea. Thank you. Are there any news about Yuki no Kuni's missing princess? We still have no leads, Yuzukage-sama. I see. The team I planned on sending to Snow Country has been formed. I simply am waiting for our spies to give us the green signal. Uzushiagakure's borders. 2 days ago. 3 young men were near the shore opposite Uzushiagakur. They happened to be on that location as they were looking for someone who could heal their master who was in a coma. They looked to be only at around the age of 10 to 17, but were obviously not to be taken lightly as they were Anbu from Konohagakure. Horan-san. What is it? A young man with long auburn hair asked. He was wearing a light brown short kimono with a black sash, gray pants, and shinobi sandals. His kimono was covered by his jacket and had his katana out. My bugs are going frantic. They sense a familiar demonic chakra coming from the island opposite ours. Torin replied as he held out his hand while bugs swarmed frantically around him. This young man wore a black mask that covered his eyes and head. The skin that was only visible was his mouth and nose. This man was heavily clothed and wore purple gloves. He also wore a short jacket with red straps and carried a tanto on his back. Did your bug sense if this demonic creature has a huge beep? A pale boy with black hair asked. This young man was wearing a gray top that showed his stomach and gray pants that matched his shirt. Like his 2 companions, he was also wearing a jacket with red straps and carried a tanto on his back. The pale boy's companion sweat dropped. Man. What is it with Sai Taichu and beeps? He couldn't be gay, could he? The 2 of them were currently thinking of the same thing. My bugs tell me they are not sure of the gender. Torin told his captain. Taichu, what are we going to do? We will investigate about it if it has a beep or not. We will also try to capture it. This could turn out to be a weapon for Konoha. Danzo-sama will be pleased with us if this chakra is from a tailed beast. Hi. The 2 replied. We will set up camp for now. Prepare to move tomorrow morning. Torin-san, have your bugs scout the area again. The masked man nodded as he held out his arms and 1,000 bugs came out from the inside of his clothing. The swarm immediately headed to the place. 2 days later, same time while council meeting is occurring. Taichu, my bugs could feel the demonic chakra lingering around this island. The chakra is indeed from a tailed beast. Taichu, I could see a road path ahead. Let's go. The 3 prepared to move, but suddenly were surrounded by a dozen masked people. Each mask had the painting of a sea creature's head. Arrest them. A masked man with the painting of a shark's face pointed at the 3 unwanted visitors. The 3 readied themselves for a fight, but the leader of the group removed his mask, revealing purple eyes with ring patterns on it. The leader's companions also did the same, revealing eyes the same as their leader. Oh, fuck. Torin said. We're fucking fucked. Fu agreed. The 2 watched nervously as they noticed their leader casually approach the man who wore the shark mask. Everybody's eyes nearly popped from their heads as the pale boy fondled with the leader's crotch. What the hell are you doing? The man said, feeling molested. I'm trying to feel you. You have a long beep unlike my 2 comrades here. I am impressed. Sai commented. Boy. What are you doing? I said arrest them. Poor Storm surrounded each of the strangers and apprehended them. Sai also tried to fondle with the other 3's private parts as he was surrounded. He managed to feel all 4 before he lost consciousness. I think I'm going to need therapy after this, the leader muttered while the other 3 agreed. Let's go back to base. Uzushiagakure Storm Headquarters. Hide-sama. We found these 3 lurking around our borders. These guys are from Konoha. The Storm Commander commented as he saw the 3's hit I-8s. I believe they are from Danzo's root organization. They are from another Anbu division. Bring them to the interrogation chamber. Hi. Shark, squid, octopus, marlin. What happened to you 4? You look shaken. Those 3 couldn't have possibly done something to you, have they? The 4 were speechless as their faces went red in embarrassment and anger. Hide-sama, the pale boy fondled with their crotches and felt their sizes before they knocked him unconscious. One of the 12 said as he looked at his 4 companions, feeling sorry for them. This one was wearing a whale mask. What? The whale-masked Storm then told his commander the exact story. That's totally outrageous. I never thought Danzo would have gay members among his little fan club. The Storm Commander commented. I need to inform the Yuzukage about these 3 immediately. Send out more people near around our borders and check if there are more of them. They might have other companions waiting for them. Hi. This is bad. Has Konoha found about us yet? He thought as he dashed off to the council room. Council room. The council was just finished discussing about Yuki no Kuni when they heard a knock on the door. The door opened and revealed the storm commander with a grim expression. Izukage-sama, please excuse my intrusion, but my men have found 3 Konoha Anbu root members lurking around our border. They are now being held at the interrogation chamber. Needless to say, there were a lot of loud murmurings among the council members. This council meeting is dismissed. Keyed, order all your men to scatter around the island and check for other unwanted visitors. If there are any, quickly disable them and prevent a long battle. Bring them to the interrogation chambers immediately. Also notify all the Jonins. I'm putting the village under alert level 1. The storm commander nodded and proceeded to the HQ to notify all storm. The Uzukage hurried to the interrogation chambers, while the rest of the council went off to their own compounds to inform their clansmen of the current situation. Izukage Mansion, private beach and training grounds. Meanwhile, Naruto was currently alone, staring at the sea. His siblings watched him sadly from a distance. They tried to convince him go out with them to hang out and have a sibling bonding, but he refused to go outside the mansion in fear of the villagers hating him for transforming into Kyuubi 2 days ago. Good morning guys. How are you doing? Oh. Good morning Konan-chan. The 4 replied as they turned to see Konan, Yuhiko, and Nagato smiling and waving at them. How's Naruto-kun? I haven't seen him out for days. Konan asked worriedly. He's there. He refuses to go outside as he is worried about the villagers. We already told him not to because the villagers did not hold a grudge against him for transforming into Kyuubi. We told him that we all understood what happened to him and what caused him to rampage. But he is still skeptical. Narumi replied sadly. I see. Mind if we talk to him? We wanted to bond with him and teach him a few things before we leave for our mission to Omegakure. Also I have something in mind that might cheer him up and forget about the incident. Yeah, sure. Thanks. We'll be back inside the mansion. See you guys later. The 4 trudged back to the mansion, while the 3 Akatsuki leaders remained. Konan raised her arms, and about 30 square papers floated from her body. The papers then took different forms. There were paper butterflies, cranes, and pegasi. She sent them flying to the boy and followed, with Yuhiko and Nagato walking behind her. Naruto was interrupted from his thoughts when he saw a butterfly flutter around his face and land on his nose. He watched it cautiously and with curiosity, and realized it was made of paper. He heard more flapping of wings and noticed more paper butterflies. He also noticed paper cranes and pegasi. He watched them in fascination and then almost jumped when he heard a voice. Beautiful, aren't they? Naruto turned and saw Konan walking towards him. With her were Nagato and Yuhiko. Konan-chan. The boy stood up and greeted the girl. The girl then went to hug him tight in greeting. Hello, Naruto-kun. The blue-haired teen said as she released the boy from her hug. Yo, Naruto. How are you doing? Yuhiko cheerfully greeted. Hello Naruto. Nagato said while smiling. Yuhiko-san. Nagato Itoko. Cousin, I'm fine. The 3 noticed the boy's expression and Konan decided to cheer him up. She willed her paper creatures to fly around and land on the boy. Wow. These are beautiful. Konan-chan, did you make these? Yes, Naruto-kun. They are called origami. It is an art of folding papers and forming them into various shapes or forms. Amazing. Naruto squealed. Can you teach me? He pouted, doing the puppy eyes jutsu. The girl's heart melted at the boy. Of course, Naruto-kun. I was actually planning on teaching it to you. Wow. Really? Konan just smiled at him warmly and nodded. Can you also do foxes? I like foxes. The boy grinned sheepishly while a certain 9-tailed fox smiled at his statement. Yes. I can make most any form. Cool. The 4 spent the rest of the morning talking about random topics, while at the same time, Naruto was taught origami by Konan. Inside the mansion. The Uzumaki Namikaze siblings were relaxing in the living room, talking to each other. They stopped when an elite jonin came inside, kneeling in front of them. Narumi-sama, Minako-sama, Mio-sama, Maiho-sama. The village has been put under alert level 1. The Uzukage has ordered you 4 to stay inside the mansion and guard Naruto-sama. The 4's eyes widened in surprise. Narumi was the first one to recover and inquired the jonin. What happened? 3 Konoha Anbu were found lurking around our borders. They are now being held at the interrogation chambers. The Uzukage has ordered all storm to scatter around the island and look for other stragglers. All of the jonins are roaming the village. I see. That's troubling news. We will stay here inside and watch over our little brother. Thank you. The jonin nodded and left. Naruto's siblings hurriedly went outside to the beach. They found their little brother busy folding papers when they approached him. They realized Konan was teaching him the art of origami. Nagato heard footsteps and turned to see the 4. He immediately noticed their grim expressions and lightly tugged on Yuhiko's sleeves to call his attention. Yuhiko looked at his best friend and saw him silently pointing his head to the 4. They silently walked away from Conan and Naruto to talk to his siblings. What is it? Nagato whispered. The village has been put under alert level 1. 3 Konoha Anbu were found lurking near our border. The Yuzukage has asked us to watch over Naruto-kun. Narumi replied. I suggest we all go inside the mansion and take Naruto-kun to his room. He will be safer there. This might be a private area, but someone might still see him here. Minako said. Agreed. I'll inform Conan of the situation. You guys distract Naruto for now and get him inside. Nagato said. They all nodded and approached the two. Hello, Naruto-kun. What are you doing? Narumi asked while Nagato discreetly pulled Conan away and informed her of the situation. Narumi-ni-chan. Conan-chan has taught me origami. Look, I made a fox. Her little brother said as he proudly showed her his work of art. That's beautiful, Naruto-kun. Maybe you could teach us also. Okay. Naruto-kun, it's almost noon. It's getting hot. Why don't we go back inside the mansion? Minako suggested. Yeah. I'm also hungry. Let's have some lunch and you can continue your origami later. Ni-chan, I want Ichiraku's ramen. But I don't want to go outside. It is okay, Naruto-kun. We will order the ramen for you. Miho offered while Mio nodded in agreement. The 8 of them went back to the mansion while Conan made the papers fly so they wouldn't have to carry them. Naruto requested they have lunch inside his room and his siblings felt thankful inside. It was just what they wanted for their little brother. Narumi and Minako made several clones and stationed them outside Naruto's room while Miho and Mio went to Ichiraku's. Naruto went back to making more paper foxes while he waited for his siblings to return with the ramen. Izushi Agakur's interrogation chambers. Hawk, an interrogator, ordered as he slapped a seal on the pale boy's forehead. The same were done to his 2 other companions who were in a separate room so they wouldn't be able to communicate with each other. Their captive just stared at them expressionless. Of course he would not just talk. He was an Anbu after all. He was trained for situations like this. The interrogators just stared at him bewildered. Taichu, why isn't he speaking? One of the interrogators asked. The seal he placed on the boy's forehead was supposed to make their captive talk. I'm sure I wrote the seal correctly. There was no mistake on it. The same thing were happening on the other 2 rooms. The interrogators were baffled on why their captives would not speak. They decided to wait for their Yuzukage and tried their best to ignore their prisoners as they stared blankly at them, giving them the creeps. Back on Sai's chamber, the door of the room opened and the Yuzukage entered along with the storm head commander and followed by the Yuzukage's husband. Yuzukage-sama. The interrogators bowed. We placed the seal on him. But he would not talk. Have you double-checked the seal? Hi, Yuzukage-sama. He just stares back at us, expressionless. Wait, I think I know why. Minato said. Let me take a look at him. The young rude Anbu was just listening to the conversation. He could not see the newcomers' faces as they were hidden by the shadows. When he heard the man saying he will take a look on him, he waited. His eyes nearly popped from his head when he saw the man. That's Yondaime-sama. Tusan. Wait, I know Tusama was dead. He died when he sealed the Kyuubi inside a newborn child. But that man standing in front of me, it's really him. I cannot be mistaken. How is he alive? He thought. Sai. Minato asked when he took a closer look at the boy. Sai. It's really you? Minato-kun, you know him? Kushina asked as she stood beside him. Yes. He was one of the orphans whom I planned adopting back in Konoha before I died, him and his brother, Shin. Minato said as he took another step near the boy and inspected him. He lifted up his chin and ordered Sai to show out his tongue. The boy complied and Minato inspected his tongue. I knew it. The reason why he cannot talk is because of this seal. Minato told the interrogators. Danzo placed it to keep him from spilling the beans if ever he got captured. I wouldn't be surprised if he did this to all his root members. Kushina-chan, can you take a look at this? There's more with the seal. But I couldn't identify it. He said as his wife stepped forward and inspected the seal under the boy's tongue. This is definitely a seal that prevents people from talking. But I am not sure about the additional seal. It could be a backup. But we can still override it. There will be no problems by doing so. The Yuzukage said as she turned to the interrogators. Could you please pass me a sealing brush and a bottle of sealing ink? One of them immediately hurried to the table nearby and passed her the brush. The Yuzukage told the boy to keep his tongue out. She was surprised when the boy did not even protest but immediately followed her order. She overwrote the seal on the boy's tongue, carefully tracing the seals. The process took about 10 minutes as she had to be very careful and had to apply a drying seal first in order for the boy not to salivate. When she was done, the boy's tongue glowed red and he let out a gasp. I am back. I can talk again. I can control myself now. I can actually say what I want to say, the pale boy said to himself as he bowed his head. The other 5 people with him stared at him confused. He then let out a cry of relief and raised his head to look at the Uzumaki. "Thank you. Thank you. You brought me back," he said while tears of happiness flowed down his cheeks. "I'm back. I'm really back. They're flowing back at me. My emotions I can feel again, I can feel again," he cried with delight. The Uzumaki was still confused, but she felt no harm coming from the boy. She turned at the 2 interrogators and ordered them to remove his bindings. The 2 reluctantly complied but decided to trust their Uzumaki. After all, even if the boy tried to put up a fight, he would not stand a chance against 3 Storm and 2 Kage-level shinobi. Sai realized his bindings were being taken off. When he was able to move again, he immediately lunged at Minato. The others were startled and were ready to take him down, but realized he wasn't attacking. "Do-chan," the boy said as he clung to the blonde man. "I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I killed him. They asked me to kill him. And then I killed him. I killed Shin-Nai-san. I'm sorry. They made me do it. I couldn't stop myself, I killed my brother. I'm sorry. Sai. Shhhh. Calm down. Take a sit," Minato requested. "Pass me a glass of water please." "Here, Sai. Drink. Calm down, okay?" The boy was silent for a few minutes while he sniffled from time to time. "I'm okay now." "Good boy. Can you tell us what happened?" "Hi. It started during the night the Kyuubi attacked. I and Shinayasan were running for cover since the orphanage had been destroyed while the Kyuubi was rampaging. Then we saw you and a group of Anbu heading towards a clearing. We decided to help and went after you, but we were stopped by an old man with many bandages. The last thing we saw before Nai-san and I lost consciousness was you summoning a giant snake. And then everything went black. When I woke up I had no idea where I was. I was tied to a chair. I asked them where my Nai-san was, but they just hit me so I shut up. And then they put something on my forehead making me unable to move a muscle. They pulled my tongue out and drew something under it. The next thing I knew was losing consciousness, but I was still awake. It was as if my true self was pulled back in my mind and another person took over. After that, they led me outside the room and saw all the other orphans. I also saw other children who I knew to have families. There was also Shin. I noticed every one of them had blank expressions as if on a daze. And then, they put us into pairs. I got paired with Shin-Nai-san. I tried talking to him but my mouth won't talk. And then Sai stopped as he felt tears on his eyes. He sniffled and tried to stop his crying. They made us kill each other. I tried to stop, but my body would not respond. It was then I realized my body was being controlled. Someone else took over. I had the feeling they did the same to the other children, they too were being controlled. I tried to fight my body and move on my own, but I couldn't. My inner self fell asleep and when I woke up, I was staring at Nai-san's bloody face. I did not understand what was going on. I willed my body to move so I could help him, but I couldn't. And then I noticed my hands too were bloody and I was holding a kunai. I then realized I was the one who did it. I killed Shin-Nai-san. I killed my own brother. I wanted to cry, but tears did not fall down my face. I just cried and wept inside my consciousness. I killed him, I killed my own brother. He shouted as he put his hands on his face and began crying again. The 5 people listening to him were shocked to hear his tale. Minato and Kushina moved closer and tried to console him. "I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I killed him, Nai-san, I'm so sorry," he whispered to himself as he curled into a ball and continued crying. Kushina's motherly instincts took over and consoled the boy while Minato helped. He was thinking hard. "Danzo. You bastard. How dare you use children to do your dirty jobs. You will pay for your crimes and the people you use as puppets will turn their backs against you." It took more time before the boy finally calmed down. "Sai, please tell us what happened next. We need to know. After this I promise to let you get some rest." The boy nodded and continued. "Hi. After that incident, we were trained. That's what we did, we just trained and trained. 3 years after being taught by them, our batch had a graduating ceremony. I was top of the class and was chosen to be Danzo's, to be one of his top personal guards. I was teamed with Fu and Torin and we did a lot of missions. I was made team captain. My skills are painting and making them come to life. Fu is a Yamanaka so he specialized in mind techniques. While Torin is from the Aburami clan so he uses bugs. He also has a kenjutsu in his body that is very lethal. Only he, the host of the lethal bugs, is immune. If another person touches him or gets touched by him, the bugs will spread to that person's body and die. That is why he is heavily clothed. When the interrogators heard of the information, one of them immediately excused himself and hurried to the other room. He prayed that nothing bad happened to the Aburami's interrogators. When Konoha was attacked by an unknown group, we were not there because we were outside the country on a mission. We came back 2 days after the attack. Everyone was sick and had diarrhea. We also found out about Danzo in a coma. So I and my team went out for a mission to look out for someone to heal Danzo. A few days ago, we were somewhere near the border when we noticed Oren's bugs acting strangely. He told us about a small amount of demonic chakra leaking out from this island, so we came here to inspect. The strange chakra emitted vanished when we came here. We were only able to find small traces of it because of the bugs, but slowly, it was gone. We looked around the island and found a pathway. We tried to follow it, but we found ourselves surrounded and we were brought here. And then you know the rest. Was there anyone else at the border with you? Asked Uzumaki. No one, we three were the only people there. We made sure nobody else were present when we found out about the chakra. As anybody else knew you came to the border? No. Ma'am, you do not have to worry about other people finding out about the leak. I assure you with that. Since Torin's bugs were from his kenjutsu, they are able to sense other living beings that are very far. And there was nobody else around the area that time. We also did some scouting and found that the border we came from was the only possible way and route to this island. I see. Thank you for the information, Sai. We will let you get rest. The Uzumaki said as she bowed to the boy. She believed his story since of course, they applied a truth seal on him and she also saw how devastated the boy was about his brother. Thank you. Ano, will you also help my teammates? I know they were like me. They are also being controlled. Of course. You may see them later. We will talk more about you later and what to do with you. Upon hearing this, the boy panicked. Please, no. I already told you. It wasn't me. I was being controlled. I don't want to die. The Uzumaki smiled and patted him. Relax. We believe your story. You will not be punished. Sai sighed in relief and nodded. Please follow the interrogator and he will lead you to a hotel room to get some rest. Upon hearing your story, you will be treated as a guest here. But you will still be kept an eye on. I understand. Thank you for your kindness. The boy nodded and bowed to the people in front of him. The interrogator then motioned him to follow and left the room. The Uzumaki, the Yellow Flash, and the Storm Commander left for the other two captives. Uzumaki Mansion. Naruto finished his lunch and was now happily making more origami. His siblings joined him and they had a little contest on who makes the most. Conan was impressed on how Naruto quickly learned and got the hang of making origami. Under just 1 minute, the boy can create 7 to a dozen creatures. Conan-chan, why aren't mine not moving? Naruto asked as he stared at his paper foxes. The blue-haired teenager chuckled and made the foxes move. Whoa. Awesome. The boy squealed. Can you teach me how to make them move? Sure. But you do not know about chakra yet. You haven't started at the academy yet. I'll teach you when you have knowledge about chakra and chakra control. Naruto pouted. But I want to learn now. He did his puppy eyes no jutsu and Conan almost fainted. Of course, Naruto-kun. She said as if dazed. Narumi and Miho giggled. Kid's good. I guess I'll teach him something about sealing before we leave for our mission. Yahiko thought to himself while smiling at the boy. Maybe we should classify the puppy eyes no jutsu as an S-rank kenjutsu. Nagato chuckled. Minako and Mio were also thinking of the same thing as they watched their little brother in amusement. Conan, Nagato, Yahiko, and Naruto's siblings agreed. They spent the afternoon explaining and teaching him about the basic concepts of chakra and how it works. They were surprised at how Naruto easily understood everything and grasped it. After that, Conan explained how she makes the origami move. They were impressed when they watched the boy concentrate and was able to make a paper fox move a bit before sending it crashing on the wall. Wow, Naruto-kun. That's impressive. Narumi praised her little brother. But I lost control. That's alright Naruto. You need more practice. But your sister is right, that was impressive. You already got it to move at your first try, even when we just explained to you the basics about chakra. Conan said as she ruffled the boy's hair in affection and pride. Everyone cheered for him feeling proud. Naruto beamed and felt very happy with their praise. He promised them he will train hard and become a great ninja someday. Of course. We believe in you, Naruto-kun. The boy gave them one of his foxy grins and went back to concentrating making his paper foxes move. Conan and her two companions decided to take their leave. They gave him some easy chakra control exercises and promised to come visit him again the next day. Yahiko promised to teach him basic sealing, while Nagato promised to teach him basic jutsus. Conan promised the boy to teach him fold papers using only his chakra once he got better with control. This made Naruto more eager to train and learn. Just then, Narumi and Minako's clones dispelled and relayed the original's information, telling them that the alert status have been put back to normal. They informed Mio and Miho of this while they sighed in relief. His siblings then excused themselves and went to their own rooms. He was now alone in his room and decided that it was time to read the book about the Uzumaki clan. He flipped the book to the second page as the first page had his name on it. Descendant, you are now going to discover and learn the history and secrets of our clan. The first thing that you should know is that the Uzumaki clan prioritizes family and is very loyal. Whatever happens, we always look for each other. Should one of us require any form of assistance, we do not hesitate and help as soon as we can. Know that the world is a cruel place. We Uzumakis can only depend on each other. Naruto took what the book said to his heart. As in Uzumaki, he will be loyal to his clan and will prioritize his family first whatever the case. He then turned on the next page and proceeded reading. Our clan has a very long history dating from the War of the Gods. We Uzumakis are the main descendants of the Sage of the Six Paths himself. Over time, the clan have experienced and been through different wars, and we became the symbol for peace. We traveled the world and fought wars to keep everything in balance, since our clan had been tasked to do it. If a certain group or clan disrupts the peace and balance of the world, the Hashirama clan must take action to stop those groups or individuals. About 100 years after the War of the Gods, the Hashirama clan decided to stay in one place and settled on an isolated island that is surrounded by hundreds of huge whirlpools. In order to hide from the world, the Hashirama clan changed its name to Uzumaki in reference to the whirlpools around the island that we have settled. The Uzumaki clan established its own village and thus Uzumaki was born. I, Mito Uzumaki, was one of the founders of this village. Due to being from the main branch of the Hashirama clan, I was selected to be its leader and was called the Shodaime Uzukage. With the Uzumakis helping each other, we were able to establish Uzumaki into a peaceful and thriving community. Uzumaki was the very first village that was founded by a clan. The second was Konoha that was founded by the Senju and the Uchiha clans, both came from the warring eras like the Uzumaki. Other villages soon followed and the hidden villages were born. Years passed by and the first Shinobi War occurred. To the world, it was also known as the Great Shinobi War. During this time, shinobi villages fought against each other the same way shinobi fought 100 years ago. Uzumaki became allies with Konoha through marriage. I was married to Senju Hashirama, the Shodaime Hagak, who was one of the founders of Konoha. Uzumaki, along with Konoha, participated in the war. With the combined powers of the Uzumaki, the Senju and the Uchiha, we were able to win the war. Uzumaki decided to lay low and let Konoha take all the glory. Konoha became branded as one of the 5 great nations, along with Kumo, Iwa, Kiri, and Suna. When the Second and the Third Shinobi World War broke out, the Uzumaki discreetly helped its longtime ally, Konoha. With the help of Uzumaki, Konoha became victorious. When my husband, Senju Hashirama died, Uzumaka's connection to Konoha weakened. Senju Tobirama, Hashirama's younger brother, became the Nidaime Hokage and tried to maintain Konoha's alliance with Uzumaki strong and firm. Over time, the Uzumaki clan felt how Konoha slowly became distant. When the Nidaime Hokage died, Sarutobi Hiruzen took the position of Sandaime. Sarutobi was the student of the Shodaime and the Nidaime. Some of my clansmen who fought alongside him during the wars felt his envy. Even though Uzumaki lets Konoha take all the glory, Sarutobi could not deny the fact that the Uzumaki clan was far stronger than both Senju and Uchiha clan combined. He wanted to have the power that our clan had and he was very jealous. The Uzumaki clan then became wary of this. With him as the Hokage, Konoha became more distant to Uzumaki. I knew the old monkey always felt resentment to your clan. A voice suddenly spoke and interrupted Naruto from his reading and startled him. What the who's there? The boy asked, clearly frightened. Relax, Naruto-kun. It's me, Kurama. Kurama? Oh. Alright. The boy said as he relaxed. Wait, you can talk to me even though I'm not in my mindscape. Correct. You see, when we first met, our minds connected and created a mental link. So now we can talk even though you are not inside your mindscape. That's cool then. The boy grinned excitedly. GRRRRRRWWWLLLLLRRRRRLLLL. Kurama-chan. Roll. Did I say something wrong? Are you angry? GRRRRRRRWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWWW R. It's your stomach. You're hungry. Ha 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 ha. Yeah, you're right. I did not notice the time. I've been reading for long and now I'm hungry. You should eat some snacks first before you continue reading. You're right. The boy said as he hid the book under his pillow and exited his room. He went downstairs and noticed nobody was there. He ignored it and walked the hallway through the kitchen. He was almost near the kitchen when he heard his friend speak through his mind nervously. Naruto-kun. Wait. Stop walking. Huh? He whispered. Shhhh. Do not make any noise. I sent someone else not welcome. This one's not from the household nor your relatives. By the way, you can talk to me silently. Just speak in your mind. Like this. Can you hear me? Yes. Good. I hear you. Naruto-kun. Tread carefully. This chakra. She trailed off as she recognized it and started growling angrily. Kurama-chan. What's wrong? Grrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrr unfamiliar voice. Muahahaha. At last. I got inside. And nobody else is around. Naruto widened his eyes and felt his heartbeat faster. Now that they aren't here, it is time for me to get you. You are mine now. And nobody's going to save you. Naruto was scared now. He can also feel Kurama inside him seething in rage. Now time to get that cabinet. Muahahaha. Naruto almost fell to the ground when he heard the mysterious voice laugh. He started to boil in anger although he still felt scared. A stranger broke into their house and was trying to steal their belongings. Raymond. At last. You're mine. Naruto was not able to hear the man's last sentence as his and Kurama's emotions combined. Kurama was now sure who the voice belonged to. The boy then charged into the kitchen. Nobody is stealing his ramen. Aye. Naruto screamed at the top of his lungs as he charged into the kitchen. He froze when he saw the intruder who was wearing dark blue robes and an orange mask. Uchiha. Aye. Tobi has been spotted. Why. Everyone inside the mansion heard the screaming and recognized Naruto's voice. They all rushed to the boy's aid and stopped when they saw the youngest heir and a masked man who was halfway slurping a bowl of ramen. Naruto did not notice the household, his siblings, his parents, and some other jonin in storm that was now standing behind him. He was too busy glaring at the man to notice the newcomers. You. The boy shouted and pointed at the masked man. His voice sounded demonic, causing everyone to gasp in shock. You. It was you. You were that man who attacked Ka-chan. You were that man who tried to kill Narumi-ni-chan. Everyone, especially Naruto's parents, were surprised to hear this. They of course recognized the masked man. But they have no idea how their youngest son knew of that event since he wasn't even born that time. You tried to destroy my family. And for that, I'm going to kill you. The boy screamed as his body became coated with red chakra. His hair became longer and looked wilder. His blue eyes turned red and his eyes became slits. His whisker marks became more defined and longer. His nails grew longer and sharper and became claws. Uchiha. The boy screamed as he lunged at the masked man. Why. Someone please help Tobi. The masked man screamed as he dodged the boy while hugging his bowl of ramen. Naruto crashed on the wall but used it as a rebound and lunged at the man again trying to swipe at the masked man's face. This is all a misunderstanding. Tobi is a good boy. Naruto-kun. Please stop. He is not that man. Arashi Uzumaki said as he tried to restrain his youngest grandson. The boy tried to escape the former Yazukage's grip but failed. Naruto-kun. His mother exclaimed, clearly worried. She rushed to her son and took him from his grandfather's arms. She hugged her son tightly while she said soothing words to calm her enraged son. Shhhh. Calm down. It's alright. Mommy's here. Shhhh. Kushina said as she stroked her son's head. Thankfully, Naruto calmed down and his features returned back to normal. He hugged his mother back while he cried. Ha-chan. It's him. It's that masked man. The boy tried to say between sobs. Shhhh. It's alright. Ka-chan's here. She cooed while she glared at the masked man. Tobi. Or whoever you are. I want explanations. Now. She said, going Yuzukage mode. Yes. We need to know who you really are, where you are from, and what your motives are. Minato agreed while also glaring at the man. Tobi gulped and immediately nodded his head vigorously. Tobi shall explain everything. Tobi is not going to lie. Because Tobi is a good boy. Wait, Ka-chan. I want to hear his story too. Narumi interrupted. I'd like to hear it as well. Said Minako. Hey, don't leave us out. We'd like to hear it too. Miho and Mio chided. Naruto-kun. You should tell your parents you want to hear about it as well. I need to know everything about this man, although I do not trust him. Ha-chan. I want to hear it too. Naruto looked up to his mother while performing the puppy eyes no jutsu. Of course. She said while smiling at her youngest. Please find Kid and tell him to wait for me at the office. The Uzumaki told the storm that was around. She then dismissed everyone while her father Arashi, Minato, and her children stayed. Let's go to my office. 10 minutes later, Uzumaki office. Alright, Tobi, tell us your story. The Uzumaki commanded. Yuhi. Tobi would like you all to hold hands. Tobi will show you everything Tobi knows. The Uzumaki raised an eyebrow and then glanced at her father who simply nodded. It's alright. I used the King of Hell on him the first time I met him. Tobi has my full confidence. Tobi shuddered as he remembered the demon head that Arashi used to interrogate him. Alright. Kushina nodded as she took Naruto's hand. The rest followed suit, making them form a circle. Tobi then held out his right hand and placed it on the Uzumaki's head. An I'm style. Flashback no jutsu. Valley of End, aftermath of Madara and Hashirama's battle. Madara. Please don't make me kill you. You can still change. Come back to Konoha. Hashirama pleaded as he looked down on the Uchiha's broken form. Never. Then you leave me no choice, goodbye Madara. Second Shinobi War. Kakashi, I haven't given you my gift yet, here take my Sharingan. Use it to fight the enemies off. Take care of Rin. No Obito. Don't say that. You will live. I can't let you die. Oh. This cave will not last long. It will collapse soon. Goodbye Kakashi, Rin. I have done my duties as a shinobi of the leaf. Now I can die in peace. Obito's teammates watched him sadly as they could not lift the huge slab of rock that pinned the left half of the young Uchiha's body. Rin did the operation and transplanted Obito's right eye to Kakashi. Kakashi and Rin reluctantly left their teammate as the cave began to collapse. Obito closed his eyes and waited for his death to come. He waited and waited. But it never came. He opened his eyes and saw a black and white creature that looked like a plant holding the cave's roof, keeping it from collapsing. He then noticed an old man who was trying to remove the rock that was on top of his body. He was surprised when the old man easily destroyed the rock and carefully dragged him away. The boy tried to feel and move the left side of his body but could not as it was already crushed. He only felt a huge bolt of pain when he tried to move. Do not move. You will only get hurt more. The old man said. The last thing that he saw before he lost consciousness due to the strain caused on his body was a pair of red eyes. Obito woke up feeling heavy yet light at the same time. He tried moving and was surprised to feel his left side. I can feel my whole body again, am I dead? He thought as he opened his eyes and scanned his surroundings. So you're finally awake. An old voice said. Wow. I'm alive. Of course, young one. Wait, you are that man who saved me. Correct. I'm glad you remembered immediately even though you were unconscious for a week. A week? What did you do? What's this? Obito asked as he examined his body. That would be our work. Said another voice. The young Uchiha almost snapped his neck when he immediately turned around and saw the plant man creature that held the cave earlier. You can talk. What do you mean we? The plant creature asked itself. Of course. You should be thankful, it was I who supplied the cells that were used to replace your broken other half. Obito grimaced as he inspected his new half part. It looked like whitish. Otherwise it felt fine. What are you? An experiment. Lord Madara created us. What do you mean us? You see my other personality here? Look, we're two. I'm the white one, the good one. My other half, the black half, is the evil one. Don't fuck with the kid. You are just evil like me. PFFFT. I am not that evil. Okay. I get it. So what are you? I already told you. An experiment. Lord Madara created us. Madara? Yes, young one. Said the old man. Wait, you two have a Sharingan here? Correct. I do have the Sharingan. You can't be Madara Uchiha, can you? Heh. Correct again, young one. But how? You're supposed to be dead. You're the same age as the Shodaime Hokage, and he's dead. I am, yes. But that fool spared me after our fight at the Valley of End. And now look, I'm still alive and he is dead. Wow. You're very old. I am, young one. Although I must say my time is nearing. I was only able to live this long because of Zetsu. Zetsu? That's us. Oh. You see, young one, I created Zetsu with my DNA and Hashirama's DNA. That sounds complicated. Haha. It does. But never mind that. Now that you are awake, I must begin your training and teach you everything I know before I pass away. You will be my successor, young one. You will be the one to carry my will. And so Madara Uchiha taught Obito everything. He passed on his will to him. His hatred to Konoha, his hatred to Uzumaki, and his hatred to the world. He told him of his plans to make the world bow down to the mighty Uchiha clan. Flashback end. Tobi removed his hand from Kushina's head and let everyone digest what they have seen. So Obito was alive after all, Minato whispered to himself. And Madara. I didn't know grandfather spared him. Arashi said as he just saw the memory for the first time. Now that you have seen that, Tobi said as he slowly put up his right hand and touched his mask. He removed it and everyone was stunned when they saw his face. Obito. Minato gasped. No. It is I, Tobi. Tobi is a good boy. Do you remember Zetsu? Everyone simply nodded dumbly at him. Because of the Zetsu cells used to create Obito's other half, another personality caused it to develop over time. Like Zetsu, he had a dark and good side. Obito is a bad boy. Tobi is a good boy. Tobi's other half split from Obito's other half. Obito doesn't know. Nor does Zetsu. Tobi hid from the shadows and watched everything the bad boy did. Tobi watched when the bad boy set the Kyuubi to attack Uzumaki and Konoha. Wait, so you're saying it was Obito who did it? Yes. You see, Madara passed on everything to Obito. He specifically tasked him to destroy Uzumaki and Konoha someday. Tobi felt sad because Obito did bad things. So Tobi decided to go away from Obito, so Tobi will be safe from harm if he ever finds out Tobi exists. Tobi decided to leave after the Kyuubi's attack on Konoha. Tobi traveled the world secretly and became a good boy. Tobi helped everyone in need but in secret. When Tobi heard about the allied Kumo, Iwa, and Kiri forces, Tobi immediately set off and warned Uzumaki of the danger. Tobi was able to arrive in time to inform the former Uzukage. Tobi was successful in saving Uzumaki. Because Tobi is a good boy. He said while clapping at himself excitedly. So that was you? You were the one who gave the warning, Kushina asked. Yes. Tob squealed in excitement. Everyone was silent for a few minutes. Even Kurama, who was listening, she remained silent. Thank you, Tobi. We owe Uzumaki's existence to you. No, ma'am, you do not have to thank Tobi. Because Tobi is a good boy. And Tobi knows the Uzumaki clan is strong. You would still have survived. Yes, we know that. But still, with your help, there were only few casualties. And the damage on the city was very small. Tobi appreciates your acknowledgements. Tobi is a good boy. Everyone smiled when he said this. Heh. Yes, you are. Kurama chuckled through Naruto's mind. Poor guy. He must have hit his head hard by something. Why do you talk like that? Naruto suddenly asked. Tobi talks like this, yes. Because Tobi is a good boy. Kurama-chan asked if you hit your head with something, Naruto muttered. Everyone raised their eyebrows wondering who Kurama was. Haha. No, Tobi did not hit his head. You see, Tobi is childish. Well, Obito is mature. Oh anyway, I'm sorry for attacking you earlier. Everyone smiled when they heard this. Especially Kushina, who was happy that her son knew how to apologize to others. Forgive me as well for attacking you, Tobi. I thought you were Obito. Minato apologized. Pardon me as well. I did not treat you good. The Uzukage said. It is alright. Tobi understands. Because Tobi is a good boy. He said cheerfully. Just then, Naruto dropped to the ground unconscious. Causing everyone to jump in panic. Even Kurama freaked out in her cage. Naruto-kun. His family shouted as they rushed to him. Brule. My baby. Kushina said as she hugged her son. What's happening? Brule. Ah-chan, I'm starving, Naruto cried out. I'm so weak, I need ramen ugh. Everyone sighed in relief while some laughed. Tobi offered the boy his bowl of ramen and fed him. The boy started to regain consciousness as he ate spoonfuls of ramen. Come now, everyone. Let's go back to the mansion and have dinner. Tobi, please join us. Kushina said as she released the privacy seals she placed on the office. They marched back to the office so Naruto could finally have his meal. Kushina and Minato decided to ask Naruto later about Kurama and how did he knew about Narumi's near-death experience. Chapter end. Alright, that's it for today's video, guys. Let me know in the comments section how was the story, and also don't forget to like, share and subscribe. I will meet you in another video. Peace out.